it's the Japanese version of the Ring girl,
which is scarier.
which is, you see, you guys say she's scarier, but that's a 21-year-old woman right there. Like,
she's of age.
She's of age.
Welcome to the Fourth Act, our entertainment podcast where every Friday we discuss a topic in TV, movies, video games, and more. My name is Gabe, and joined once again with my friend George.
Hello again. Where's my lower third?
It's right there.
Oh, you better be.
In post, it's there. It should be. I'm going to put it on your face. How about that? Call it the upper third. The upper third. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about horror games, so I brought in the bravest man I know.
You're a liar. Such a liar.
I brought in the biggest, what do I call you?
Horror buff?
Horror buff?
Not even a horror buff.
I just wanted you back, and I was just like, you know what? I want to talk spooky games with somebody. Last time we went 3 hours on fighting games.
I can go 4.
He's trying to go 4 hours, but we're not going there. We're going to give you like an hour and a half, maybe 2 max.
Well, not for horror. If you picked something...
Smash Bros again?
Smash Bros is going to go 5 hours. I'll go 5 hours Smash.
And also, we're watching wrestling down here, so if you see us peek down, we're going to provide some wrestling commentary.
Edge make his debut.
But anyway, we're going to be doing spooky stuff all month long. I should have got something for the set here, maybe next episode.
A little pumpkin.
Just a little pumpkin or something. In post. There you go. I'll put your lower third. I'll put the pumpkin.
Just like a pumpkin,
we'll give them a name.
Just for the whole show.
But yes, go ahead and subscribe to us. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers as of right now. We're at 89. Maybe by the time you see this, we're at 90. Mm-hmm. You can help us get to 100 triple digits, and after that, we're unstoppable, baby.
Oh, yeah. Once you hit 100, you're good.
It might as well be 1,000.
That's what it used to be in YouTube. If you hit 100, you were able to get monetized.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I got monetized back in the day.
Damn. I could be making like 10 cents a month.
Exactly.
Help us make 10 cents a month. Subscribe. We got a bunch of spooky stuff coming up. Movies. Video games we're doing today, more movies, slashers, Freddy versus Jason, a lot of stuff coming up, so go ahead and subscribe.
The bracket, you got the bracket?
Shit, I didn't think about a bracket of what, the killers?
No, just start it, just a bracket. Top 16.
Top 16 what, movies or killers?
Whatever you want, it's your podcast.
I want to do killers, baby. We're pivoting, we're doing that right now. All right, so I pimped out my stuff. This is George. He likes to stream sometimes.
I do, and I'm also streaming during spooky time.
Ooh, spooky games?
Yes, starting on Monday. It's already probably done by now. We're doing spooky games.
Ooh, what are you playing?
Resident Evil, Luigi's Mansion, Dead by Daylight on like grind days.
Yeah.
And then probably something I'm actually scared of, like somewhere in there. I'll figure it out. I don't want to.
Well, we don't want to spoil the conversation, but again, today we're going to be talking about spooky games, like what we think the scariest game is, spooky moments, all this stuff. Are you ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay, so first, what I want to do to you to introduce this topic and just get started, what is the scariest game to you? Which one actually scared the shit out of you?
PT.
And that's my answer too.
Let's go.
Okay.
PT. It's
PT. So what is PT?
It is what did he call it?
Playable teaser.
Oh, teaser.
Or one of those.
Yeah, playable test, playable teaser. It was Kojima's and Guillermo del Toro's like little baby that they were going to create.
Yeah.
Right after
with Daryl from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, with Daryl from Walking Dead. It was like right after he left Konami like right after he was working on it.
Right.
And then I think Konami's like cut ties with Kojima, and then Kojima ended up like making his own production company.
Yeah, so it was just like a bad divorce. Like there's going to be this really cool it was going to be a Silent Hill remake.
Yes, exactly.
And at the end of the teaser when you beat it, because it was just like it was at E3, right? Or it was announced at E3 and then it like silently dropped that day. Yeah. And it's they said they're like, play this today.
Yes.
We didn't know it was Kojima, nothing.
No.
So then they dropped it. Everybody went home, or you just switched over and started playing it. Yeah. And then it was like a community thing. It was a very hard game. It was just 2 hallways.
It's just 2 hallways. Yeah.
And it looked really scary. But it's just a puzzle game. And then at the end of it, after like a few days when the community solved it, you found out that there's a trailer at the end for Silent Hill.
That's right.
And it never happened. It never came out.
It never came out.
They took down PT from services, so you can't even download it now. So
Wow.
sorry if you're barely hearing about this and you're interested.
Well, there is a way to do it.
Like a pirated way.
Yes. It's like a PC server kind of thing. It's like not super complex, but if you like search up PT like PC download.
If you hack into the server.
Yeah, if you hack into the server. The other way is have a friend that has downloaded it, like me.
Oh, cool.
I have it downloaded, and every time people come over, like during October time, we're like, let's put it on, and I
gotta play that shit again.
It's so good. Like when it got to the PS5, I think it's like not playable anymore. Because on the PS5, it just blocks it.
Lame.
But if you have it on PS4, you can still get it. And if you originally downloaded it, you can always still grab it from like the servers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, because I did originally download it, but I didn't have it downloaded when they took it off, so I thought that was it.
No, I think if you go into your like download list, it's like you have to go on it manually on the computer. You have to go on the computer and then like download it to your PS4. Like it's a whole thing. But yeah, they took it off, and so like it's
okay. So why does it scare the shit out of you like it does me?
Oh my God. That game is so. Are you the kind that like you're like? For me, I'm a baby, right?
Right.
I'm big baby.
No, you're the bravest man I know.
Right. I always have a thing with scary stuff where like I'm always like terrified of experiencing it myself, but then I'll go like Wikipedia, like horror wiki, and I'll like just read everything.
So you like being scared?
Something about it, yeah. Something about it. And I know like for PT, it was like I played it the one time, scared myself, and I'm like, I'm not doing it again. And then like my friends will come over and they'll play it, and I'm like the whole time.
Got your popcorn and everything.
Popcorn. And then like I'll just like deep dive into the lore. Like, yeah, it's just something interesting about like going into the lore of it.
Yeah, there's like a baby in the sink.
Dude, there's like
a peephole you have to peek in through, and then there's also that. The main thing is that there's this girl like following you, and is it like a 90-degree thing? Is it, or am I tripping?
It's in the code, like it was revealed.
Oh,
like
here we go.
This is like way after the fact. Like the game's been delisted for like when it came out,
It was like a year after it came out. But yeah, like 2015, maybe 14.
Something like that. It's been years. And like they found it like a couple years back that like
she's always behind you.
She's always behind you.
That's some scary shit.
That scares me more.
Yeah.
So now every time I like play it, I'm like, oh, because I know.
Yeah.
Like you have the knowledge now that she's behind
once in a while, if you turn around at any point, if you turn, she can like jump scare you.
Yes. Yeah. And
so,
it's like a random thing. Too. Yeah. It's never confirmed. Like you can never do it.
The way that they build up the horror too, because at first you go down the hall and it's a little spooky, whatever, and you're like in this loop. So every time you go down the hall again, something new happens. Like the chandelier's moving, a door opens, and then when you like walk through, like past it, it closes. You even peek in through the cracked door at some point, and then you see somebody like close the door.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There's we mentioned the baby, the fetus,
little baby, and it talks.
Not little baby. There's a little baby, not the rapper.
Yeah, that little baby. It's like this small like fetus baby in a sink.
And it's crying, right?
And it's crying at first, and you're like, oh, that's creepy as shit. And then you leave and you come back, it's still there, and now it has like a deep voice. And
really?
And it talks. You didn't get that version?
No. Well, I didn't. Eventually, I got to the point where I was like, I'm not playing this anymore.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up online, but I don't think I remember everything.
Yeah, there's like, because it's like, there's so many variations of what can happen in the teaser. Because it was just like, all right, just figure stuff out, and then people just like did 100 different ways of like the variations of variations. Sometimes it talks to you, sometimes it just cries, sometimes it's not there. The one that freaks me out is when it's there, you do the loop, it like does the deep voice, you do the loop, it's gone, you do the loop, and then it's like cockroaches and ants are where it was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That creeps me out. I don't like that.
So yeah, just like the eeriness of it, like it felt horror. Like it like other games try to attempt it, and you know what's coming, you know the jump scares are coming, but something about it just felt very like, I mean, it felt scary. Now my experience with it is very quick. Me and my niece were playing it, because that's when I was living at home still, and then my niece lived there as well. So she came in and I was just like, hey, like this game's supposed to be scary, let's check it out. Turn off the lights, because we were just like, let's get scared. Let's close the door, we turn off the lights, we're all sitting very close to the TV. And then we're playing it, whatever. And then after a while, it's just like, oh shit, like this is really scary. Like, we're both like creeped out, and then I told her, okay, like turn on the lights.
Yeah.
Turn on the lights, and then eventually it got to the point where we were sitting all the way at the end of the room on my bed, and we're just like, all right, now we can play, because it was scary.
It's so creepy.
Okay.
Do you know, well, before we like jump into, do you know about the headset thing?
Mm-mm.
So
Nope.
I don't know like how they figured this out. It's so there's like the way to beat the game, right? It's like you do the loop over and over again, and then you do like slight variations of the loop over and over again.
And then eventually it turns red.
Mm-hmm. It turns red in one variation. And then like there's the one that creeps me out is like, you know that chandelier
Right.
in like the middle of like one of the halls where it's like bloody and whatever. I think if you do another loop, if you look up into the like, because there's like
a staircase, right? Or like a balcony, not a balcony.
There's like a balcony. And if you look at the balcony, she's there just staring at you.
Yeah, I seen that.
That one's creepy. That one freaks me out. But like,
and it's just a hallway.
Yeah.
It's just like an L. Like you just go
you
this
just
way,
do
that
the
way.
L over and over again. That's it.
Yeah, it wasn't this big spooky mansion or house. It was just a hallway.
Yeah, and then I think the loop of it happening over and over again added to it. And I remember, because that's like one of the easiest ones to do is just do the loop over and over and over again. I think you die in one of them, but if you just keep doing it in like a certain way you do it, you'll win and get the like Norman Reedus. And then like,
Norman Reedus. You win and you get Norman Reedus.
You get him being like, ooh, and then like him walking away, and then like Silent Hill, and then like Kojima and Guillermo del Toro. But I forget who figured it out that if you have, because it's a PS4 controller, right? Mm-hmm. So it's got the D-pad and everything, and like the pad on it. You can do stuff with the pad.
You can touch Norman Reedus.
Yeah, you can touch Norman Reedus, and like someone figured out if you have a microphone hooked up and you have like the mic, you can talk into it.
Okay,
and you can say certain things. I forget what you have to say, but that's how someone figured out you can beat like the game. Is like talking to it, and I think it asks you questions. Like
what the hell?
When it's
that's worse, right? I don't want to do that.
And that's
have you tried that or not?
I haven't tried it. I haven't tried that one. It creeps me out. It creeps me out too much. Just like
I know what we're doing.
Because like I'll like read up like how do you do that? And then it's like and then you put your headphone in, and then she says something to you in your and I'm like nope, not doing that.
That's funny that both of our answers were the same.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know what other because like. With other games, like I feel like they'll attempt horror.
That's what I'm saying. It's very cliche.
Yeah,
you know what's coming. But
yeah,
I feel like it was just so good at changing it up. Like it was just the same setting, but it's okay. How can we scare the shit out of you in different ways?
Oh, I think it was because it was Kojima and Del Toro.
Oh, it's that Japanese horror. Man.
Yeah. Because like he knows what's going on, and then I'm so sad that like they never finished it. And like I know they worked together on Death Stranding, and like they like have.
The UPS game.
Yeah, the UPS game.
U.S. Postal Service.
During the pandemic when like you have to get everything delivered. So like I get like I kind of wish that they did finish it because I want to see. They had so much more planned. They had more stuff because the headset thing was like part of it. That's like some people like theorizing like, oh, there was probably going to be stuff with headset, like a headset run. Like
because Kojima's always been doing that. Like with Metal Gear, you switch the controls like the second port and all that. Oh yeah,
it reads like there's the Mantis fight where he like reads your memory card. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I see you've been playing Twisted Metal."
You're like, "Wait a second."
Like, whoa, that's creepy.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. So before we get into like some of our favorite games, we're gonna do a little fun segment because I remember when we were talking about this, we planned this out like 4 weeks ago. Right. And you were asking me, I think you said Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I got a hot take. Like, Twisted Metal is not a horror game. So I just want to list a couple.
Right.
And ask you, like, are these horror games? Gotcha. And if you could come up with a couple for me, fine.
All right.
But you brought up Twisted Metal, so what's your beef? Because first of all,
it's not.
I've never thought like, oh, that's one of the best horror games. Right. But you brought it up, I was like, is it a horror game? I mean, it's more of an action game.
So, because when I was a little kid, right? Did you watch the commercials for it?
No, but I remember being scared of like the discs, like the cover, all the little clowns.
I remember Black being the. So Black's the one I give it. I'll give it to Black.
Everybody likes Twisted Metal Black.
I'll give it to Black. Black is straight up like I think the horror one.
Okay,
that's the spooky one. Like that's the one that's like dark. And like, can I spoil Twisted Metal Black?
The 20-year-old game? Yeah, go for it.
2003 or whatever. That one's creepy because like all of it is like because Twisted Metal 1, 2, 3, right? You win, you get a wish from Calypso, right?
Right. It's like a tower in any fighting game.
Exactly. And like the reason why, when I was a kid, I thought it was horror because of the aesthetic of it.
Okay.
It was like warehouses and like power plants and like a junkyard.
Nothing scarier than a power plant.
Well, because like back in this is like boomer shit, but like there weren't much like to the graphics. So like,
oh no, yeah.
So like the fog of war and like the way the game was all like, there wasn't like field of vision down all the way. It was like fog and like you didn't know anything and like you got killed. I think it was mainly the racers and drivers that like creeped me out because it's like, oh, it's like Meathead and like, oh, it's Sweet Tooth and like Dollface and like all these creepy like gimmicks. And as a kid, that scared the shit out of me. Like I played it at my cousin's house. We played 2 and 3. And that one scared me. I mean, once you play the game, it's like, oh, this is fun.
Right.
It's like
because like I'm mentioning, I remember seeing like the PS1 Twisted Metal era and maybe not PS2, but yeah, PS1, and seeing those covers and being scared of them, at whatever Video Depot or whatever, Hollywood Video,
right.
But no, like when I started playing them, I was really into them. And then I got into Twisted Metal Black, and like I never thought Sweet Tooth was scary or anything like that. I thought it was cool. Yeah. So. Which one got you?
It was Black, because
like which character got you?
Oh, which character got me?
Was it Axel, the guy with the
Axel.
2 giant tires?
The dude that's like,
I could take him.
I think it was I think the priest. The priest creeped
Calypso?
me out. Not Calypso. There was a priest.
I don't remember.
I forget what his name was, but he creeped me out because like it was religion, and I was like when I was growing up, it was religious.
Yeah.
And so like it was like, oh, a priest killing. That was the wildest part to me.
You're like, oh no, priests can't do anything awful.
Priests can't do nothing. To
They're
me.
the best people. They're the purest souls in the world.
But Sweet Tooth did scare me. I mean, I wasn't like scared of clowns. I mean, they're creepy,
but yeah, I didn't have a fear of clowns either.
I was scared of Pennywise, like
that never got me.
The clown from It, but I didn't think Sweet Tooth was Pennywise because like Sweet Tooth, I think had a cool aesthetic because he had the little ice cream thing,
a flame head.
Yeah, I thought he was cool. Like you said, I thought he was cool.
This guy rocks.
Yeah, this guy's sick. And then I think because like I never beat them. I only played them with my cousins. So,
yeah, just versus, right?
Yeah, versus. Yeah. So we never actually played like story mode. But then like as an adult, I like checked out the story mode and like I checked out like the endings, and I'm like, oh, this is a comedy. This is like a comedy game.
Yeah,
because like I like with the Peacock Twisted Metal. That one
I didn't finish it. I just saw the first episode.
It's so mid. Remember,
so mid.
So mid.
It got good reviews though. That was the weird thing.
I think it's people that don't care about video games. But like I think I'm like 2 episodes away from finishing it, and like I've gotten like a big gist of it. It's super mid.
Yeah.
But like that got me back into it, and so like I did like a deep dive on like Twisted Metal and like, oh, what were the endings, and like that's what made me like, I'm like, oh, this is a comedy. And so like when I watched the show, and I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense.
Like it fits.
This fits. Yeah.
Except for Twisted Metal Black, but that's the thing. That's everybody's favorite.
Yeah, and that's the one that's dark as hell. Because like the wishes that you get in Twisted Metal are to me kind of funny.
Isn't it? I don't. Are you talking about Black specifically, or
in the originals?
Oh, okay, I don't know those at all.
Because sometimes they'll be like, I wish to be the face of the world, or like I wish to be the most famous face in the world.
Yeah.
And then like Calypso will be like, bet, here's your wish, and then he like it stretches your face out across.
It's
the
like
world.
It's the monkey's paw.
It's the monkey's paw thing. Yeah. And that's where the twist is in Twisted Metal.
So I hate genies and all that shit.
Yeah,
they play fair. Come on,
right? And then like, but some of them are really funny to me. Like, there's I forget their names. The duo. It's let's just call them Jak and Peter
and Daxter.
Yeah, Jak and Daxter. Their thing is they're a duo, right?
Yeah.
Their wishes were they wish they could fly, and then he's like, "Wish granted." And then they're like, yes. And they're on top of like a skyscraper. And they're like, yeah, we can fly. And then like they just like pass right on the floor. And this is like this is PS1 garbage. So it's literally just still images.
It's like The Other Guys. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
It's just like comics, because like that's how they told stories back then. And then like the twist was like, oh, what am I going to do with these 2 first-class tickets to Hawaii now? So it's stuff like that, right?
So your beef with it is that it's comedy.
Yes, I think it's a comedy game.
I don't think that's such a hot take.
I think
it's if you just play Twisted Metal Black, you probably think that's all it is.
Because Black is dark. Black is the one that's like, what's his name? they like changed one of the characters.
I like how like half the segment so far, you're like, oh, what's his name? We don't know any of these characters.
Right. Well, I'll use one that I do know. Like Dollface, right?
Yeah.
Dollface was like, in Black, she's a character that was tortured. And then her mask is like the doll she would work on. And then at the end, her wish was to kill like the person that like tortured her.
Okay.
And then she puts the mask on him. Like she takes off hers and she puts it on his. And then like that's no twist. That's just straight up like horror.
That's just good storytelling.
And then like there's the bride. I forget her like name, but the bride. Her wish was, you know, to be, because she was always the groom, never the
bridesmaid and never the bride.
Yep. And so in her like origin story, she kills everybody in, you know, the wedding of her like friend or whatever, and she was the bridesmaid. And she's like, I want to get married. Her wish was to be married to the guy that like her best friend married. And then like,
oh, she's just jealous. That's her character.
Yeah. And then like she gets her wish, and then the guy like marries her, but he doesn't love her. And so the twist, it's like a dark twist. She kills the guy. So she like,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah. And then there's like the one that creeps me out the most is I forget what they name him. I think it's Judge. It's the guy that he was a Vietnam vet, because they changed the story up. They changed all the character stories up. And so he's a Vietnam vet, and they get stuck in a hole, and then he has to eat his like partner alive to stay alive.
Oh, this I remember. Yeah.
He had to eat his partner, and then he wears his skull as his mask,
right,
as his like thing. And his wish was to get his hands on the person that helped recruit him to the army. And then the twist in that one is like, oh, well, I got a taste for human flesh now. And then he fucking eats the guy. Like, that to me is dark horror.
That's cool. That's a cool story. That's payoff.
Yeah, and I think that game just is like what people remember. And so that's why they think Twisted Metal like Black is like what the whole series is. But there's like a comedy like Twisted Metal Black. Like, you remember how in like the 90s every game had like babies? Like Muppet Babies.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Baby Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I was going to say, Looney Tunes.
Twisted Metal had one. It was like
Baby Twisted Metal?
Yeah, it was like
Is that what I remember? Because I remember these like tiny little clowns.
It was Twisted Metal. No, that was 3. The little clowns were in 3. Because in 3, apparently, Sweet Tooth wins. In Twisted Metal 2, he wishes to be Calypso. And then he gets Calypso's job.
Oh.
And that's probably the one you remember.
Okay.
But yeah, they had like a little like Hot Wheels Twisted Metal where it's like the little kids of the characters.
Yeah.
But that's why I think like
the next generation.
Yeah.
The only one that I really remember is Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
In Twisted Metal Black, his ending.
Yeah.
Because he gets like a little vial or whatever, and Calypso's just like, oh, like if you drink this or if you take this, you'll be cured. Your head won't be on fire anymore. You get back to whatever. Yeah. And he just breaks it and just like, no, I like killing and all this. And he cuts off Calypso's head. Like they know Sweet Tooth is the best character.
Yeah.
Okay. So another one. Is Bloodborne a horror game?
See, it can be. I think the only issue is
it's
like
spooky.
There's some like issues, right? Where I think in horror, where it's like we want to be horror, we want to be scary, but then it hits like we're cool, and like once you hit the cool level, I'm like it's gone. Horror's gone.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm never like scared in Bloodborne.
Yeah,
but there's one part. With those giant ass spiders.
Yeah.
That are, because you fight a bunch of giant spiders, whatever, that's fine. You run into one or two.
Right.
But there's one where you go into a room and you need to go through the room because you're like dying. It's a time thing. Like you're dying and you need to get like past all this.
I remember this, yeah.
And then once you enter like the room and it's all like, it's like a castle. It's not just like a house. It's like a castle. And you look up. There's like 20 giant spiders all hanging. And the thing is, like, when you pass a spider, it drops. It comes down, and then you have to fight it. Yeah. So there's like 20, and then immediately I was just like, oh, hell no. Yeah. But because you're dying,
you have to. Yeah.
I just sprinted past all of them.
They all come down.
I just ran. Yeah, they're all falling down around you. Hell no.
I remember that. Because I remember, like, in Bloodborne, I was, like, trying to figure out, because it was my first Souls game.
Me too.
And I was trying to figure out, like, what the aesthetic of it was. Because it was like, oh, it's kind of Victorian and like
Gothic.
Yeah, gothic. And it's like, oh, it's vampires and shit. And like, you're a vampire? Because like you get your health back. And I'm like, oh, so it's a vampire game. Ugh. And then it's like, no, it's more than that. It's like, once you scope it out, it's like, oh, this is like a, what's it called? Lovecraftian. It's,
okay.
It's like, it's like gods and like slug things and like Cthulhu's and shit. Because like, have you gotten the secret ending?
I don't think so. Well, there's 3 endings,
there's
right?
3 endings, yeah.
Well, I got the platinum, so I must have seen it, right?
You probably would have gotten it, yeah, because if you got the platinum.
I was just grinding, dude.
Yep.
That was like 3 weeks of my life, Bloodborne. Well, just on the weekends. But it was like 3 weekends of no life.
I love it. Yeah, because I think it's too cool to be scary. Because like it has scary moments.
So your answer is no.
I don't think so, because I think
that's 2 in a row. No Twisted Metal, no Bloodborne.
I don't think, because like I think it's too. Its aesthetic is too good to be horror. It has horror like moments,
elements,
yeah. Like there's parts where I'm like scared, but then I'm like, oh, this is like when it's like. I think it's more scary in the beginning when there's mobs and there's like werewolves and it's very like contained.
Right.
And it's like, that's when I was scared.
So you think once it expands to gods and all that, it's
once
too much?
It's there, I'm like, no, now I'm like a little slug god. And, like, and I got my little puppet goth mommy like taking care of me.
So next up, I based off what you're saying, you're already going to say no, but just for the segment, Mortal Kombat.
So I remember
it's a horror game.
So I was going to bring that up. I was going to bring up Mortal Kombat because that's a game that did scare me when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
You're such a baby.
I am. Because
bravest man I know. He grew up to be a brave man.
Because I remember playing 2 in the arcades, and that's just like 1v1, like nothing like story element or anything. Right. I thought Scorpion was cool because like his skull was like the scariest part.
Skulls are scary now.
I thought
they're spooky.
When I was a kid, I was like, oh my god, spooky. His skull's on fire. And then like I get into the story games and I'm like, oh, these are cool. Like these are like, this is a cool game. We've talked about it in the fighting game one. I skipped over Armageddon and the other one, but 9 actually, like the story of 9 and like the aesthetic of 9 did scare me. Like I remember, I remember grinding out the crypt.
You're like, these animations are awful. Oh,
that's the thing. I was like, oh, gross. It's like so gory and like, and that's what makes it Mortal Kombat. Yeah, so I can't really complain about it because it's always going to be that. But I remember like the first time I was like, oh, that's fucking gross. Like the first time seeing the face, because like that's the thing. I want to go back to original Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 and 4, where like those were comedy. Like those were,
well, they definitely have comedy in them still, but
yeah, I feel like it's been toned down and it's more
That's so funny because like people were criticizing MK1, the new Mortal Kombat that came out, for not being violent enough.
Really?
That they're holding back.
Crazy. They are crazy. One of them turns into a pretzel. And his face slumps down. Like that one's creepy as shit. Like that's crazy to me.
I can't put that in here, by the way. I would get demonetized.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not monetized yet, I at least want to practice monetization.
Exactly.
So sorry guys, look it up.
For the old like videos they get monetized.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Look up Mortal Kombat 1, Reiko.
It's Reiko, right? His
second fatality.
That's the creepiest.
And enjoy.
I hate that one. Because like I remember when I was playing 9, I was like doing the crypt, I was doing the story mode, and like the vibe it does and the horror that it does is like kind of creepy to me because it's like skulls and like zombies on the ground, and like you have to like to buy something in the crypt. There would be like somebody like hung.
Yeah.
And you have to go and like it'd be they'd be hung and like they're like and they like be making noises and shit. And this is like I'd be playing this at like 1 a.m. and I'm like, what the fuck?
And then in the crypt too, where you unlock everything.
Yeah.
There's a jump scare monster that pops up too.
Isn't that, it's like a completely random like there's no way to like trigger it or anything. It's like
it's random. It's like PT, that girl.
Yeah, you just have to like stay in the crypt for a bit. And then, like sometimes it'll just show up.
They did that in MKX too, which is worse because then they had spiders.
Oh, great.
That would jump up, and they had a whole spider area to unlock stuff. So you're already like seeing, like hearing, and all these spiders going around, and then once in a while, one would jump scare you.
Yeah, because I feel like Mortal Kombat can be a horror game if it wanted to. Like it could be a good one too. Like it could be a good horror game, if it wanted to be. Like But for some reason, it wants to stay in like the cool casual market, and so it doesn't lean too heavy into it. But I see elements of.
I mean, they got horror characters in MKX. Like that's their whole thing.
Yeah. Because I remember them adding like Alien and Jason. And
Jason. Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
They added Freddy Krueger in MK9. You know who they're gonna add in this one?
I think I saw. Aren't they gonna add fucking Scream?
Yep, Ghostface. Now it's in the files, so sorry guys if it doesn't come true. But there's audio. Yeah, it's in the code already. And then Ed Boon put out a tweet the other day with like a bunch of serial killers with like check marks and then like X's over who hasn't been in there yet.
And then I saw that Ghostface was in it.
He was dead center.
He was like right in there.
Right.
And he was surrounded by like the check marks.
Yeah.
And then they like had like Chucky in the bottom right. And I'm like,
well, he could be an assist character.
That's the thing. So I'm like, that'd
be cool.
Either they're doing it as like a teaser because it's not in the code. He's not in anything. Or it could just be like a red herring.
That too.
Because isn't Puppet Saw Puppet?
Oh, Jigsaw?
Yeah, isn't he in that picture as well?
In the picture, yeah. But I think those are the red herrings. Because Ed Boon teases stuff, but he also doesn't, like, promise something and then doesn't deliver.
Yeah.
It's like, if you look at it, okay, Ghostface is dead center. We already found out last week. Like, he knows what's been leaked to, so they're having fun with it. Last one. Have you played Gone Home?
Gone Home?
It's an indie game.
No. But indie game equals horror, yes. Like, that's the one.
Let me tell you about this one.
Okay.
Very quickly. This game is set up like a horror game, even like the picture of it, like it's an indie game. I think it's like a purple, it's like dark colors on the cover. It's called Gone Home.
Right.
You play this one girl who comes home from college.
Okay.
Nobody's home, and you kind of like put the story together. So you hear like voicemails, and I don't remember the story too well. I don't know like the whole thing, but I know the concept. So it's kind of like a horror game. Like you hear stuff creak. And you're reading notes, and then it's just like, oh, go to the secret compartment where we used to play and all this. And then you go in there, and there's a Ouija board. So you're just like, oh, no. And then it's a very short game. You probably beat it in like 3-4 hours.
Right.
And it's like a puzzle game, whatever. And then it finally gets to the point where like you're trying to find your sister, your younger sister. And then she's like it gets to the point where her hangout spot's like the attic, but you can't get in there. But eventually you find a key or something, and then like the stairs lower, and then it's all red up there. Like there's a red light. So it plays out like a horror game. But when you go up there, she's not there. There's nobody dead, nothing like that. Like you like read another note, and she's like running away from home because, and if I remember correctly, I could be completely wrong. If I remember correctly, it's because she's gay.
Oh,
yeah, and she's like running away like with her girlfriend or whatever. And I think that's the whole point, is that it's actually an LGBTQ plus video game, but like it's about like it pretends it's a horror game,
right?
But so now that you know that, if it's a horror game for 95% of it,
and then the last 5%, it eliminates it.
Does it?
In my mind, yes.
But you were scared the whole time.
In my mind, if you are a horror game for like 80% of the game, but then at the end you do a kickflip or something super sick,
it turns to a Tony Hawk game.
It turns to a Tony Hawk game. It's the way I see the Resident Evil games. I don't know if Resident Evil...
We'll talk about Resident. We have to.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to be in there for a bit.
Shit. It's gonna go on for 3 hours.
3 hours on Resident Evil. I think it's so cool because like it is a horror, like it's a horror genre game and whatever. I think it's way too cool. I think it's way too cool to be a horror game.
So, what I just said, or just in general?
Oh,
you're going to Resident Evil.
Yeah, but like it's kind of that where it's like if it's 95% horror for like a while, but then like it like subverts something in like the last 10% or like the last 5%, and then it becomes cool or like it becomes like another game. I eliminate it from my mind as a horror game because now I know the twist. I know the.
And all I can hear is criticize.
I'm vetoing your opinion.
You think so?
If I'm scared for 95% of the game and then it changes, that's a horror game.
That's still a horror game to you?
That's a horror game.
I don't know because I know the twist now. Like if I know,
well, now you do.
Yeah, because like
my bad. Sorry, everybody. If you wanted to play that,
because if like at the first run, yes, I'll give it to you. First run, yes.
Yeah.
I'll give it first run, but then like second run or third run, I'm like, oh no, I know what's going to happen.
I'm not scared.
It's the way I am.
Well, same for every game. I mean, once you know like even like horror movies. Once you know what the monster looks like, it's kind of just like, all right.
Well, isn't that why like it's better to not show the monster?
Yeah.
It's
but you always got to show the monster. You need to give people a payoff. I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying they think you have to.
Right.
Because how are you going to sell a movie?
See, because I believe that the absence or like the idea of the monster is scarier than the monster.
Oh yeah.
So I've always thought that like if you have a scary story or a horror game to show, never show them. Just show like little bits here and there. It's Cloverfield's not a horror game or anything, but Cloverfield is like my best example of that.
Yeah, once you see the giant spider monster, just like, all right.
It's like, all right. And then like they up it by like being like, that's a baby.
That was the coolest trailer ever, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what movie I went to go see. I feel like I want to say it was Transformers.
I think I went to go see, because I remember seeing it for the first time. I think I went to go see like an Indiana Jones. I think it was like
Crystal
Skull.
Yeah, Crystal Skull.
I think it was Crystal
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I think that's when I saw it.
You don't know what it is, and it kind of looks like a Godzilla movie.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was excited.
And then it's by J.J. Abrams' production company, and it's called Bad Robot. So it's like Bad Robot, big dinosaurs. Like, what is it? It ends up being a really cool movie anyway. But you're right. Once you know what it is, you're kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
Okay, well, that's everything I have on my list.
Okay.
So to you, none of these were horror games.
I mean, I think Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you did say Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat's the closest one to it, and I think it could be a horror game if it wanted to be. Because like I think of like Shaolin Monks, and like I'm like, you could have done that. You could have been a horror game there, because it has moments where like it'll like jump scare you in the game, and I'm like, you can do it right here. Like I don't know why you made it an action like co-op thing.
Now, have you tried VR horror?
I'm too scared.
That's the thing. It's too real. It's too like, even if it looks funny, you could buy into it. If you're in that shit, you'll buy into it.
Because that's the thing, right? Because like I want to get a VR system, because like we finally have a house where like we have like space.
You have the room,
I have the room for it, because when I was a kid, we never had the room for it. So like I would be like, Mom, Dad, can we get a VR? And it's like we don't have the space for it. Like if we had it, it's like also this is when like VR was still like kind of new,
right?
And so
but even like the Wii, you needed room to play tennis and all that and golf,
and that was hard, because like we would do games that like didn't really have the motion. We would or when we did, we would have to like make a whole day out of it and like move furniture and do the whole thing. So now that I'm an adult, I want to get into VR. The only issue that I have is like there's like not many VR options. It's like you got Sony with the PlayStation,
which is the cheapest, right?
Which is the most, like, I think not efficient, what's the word? Cost effective one. Because it's like it's high end stuff for a good price. You need a PS5, that's the only issue. Because you need a PS5 to have, and at the time it was hard to get them. I feel like now it's super easy. We get a bunch like all the time in the store. But like it's that the MetaQuest, which I don't want to give Facebook like my information on that one. I don't want them to see what I purchase on the VR. And so
what's scarier than the government?
Right. So I do think in the next couple of years, like in the next couple of months, I think I'll be trying to get into VR.
See, I'd be down to try it, like a horror one.
See, that's the thing. So that's the thing. I know for some games on PlayStation, if you own the game, they give you the VR version for free.
Oh.
So like Resident
You're
Evil,
making money.
You're making money. So
that's boy math.
Yeah, boy math. 7 and 8. Resident Evil 7 and 8, you get the VR versions for free. Ooh. And I'm not I will at one point, maybe for like content, do 7 and 8 in VR. Cuz like
how do you know if it's recording you if you're doing VR and well, like, is it one that you have to move around a lot or
I think it's one that you got to use the controller.
Okay. So yeah, there's not much, it's just
that. Just like one of these. Yeah. But I know VR, whenever like you put me in the whenever I'm first person, I'm like, nope, don't like this.
That's what I'm saying, because you can't just like, I mean, you close your eyes, but I don't think that's your first reaction. No,
yeah.
So if something comes up at you, I think your first reaction is to be like,
to freak out. Yeah. I want to try it. I think it'd be cool. I definitely like would be a baby about it the whole way, but I think it would be fun.
Yeah,
because like there's something fun about being scared, I think.
See, I would need to be drunk. I'd have to have nothing to do the next day.
Right.
I need to have a good day.
A good mental day that day.
A good mental health day.
You gotta have like a
the Rams have to have won.
Yeah, you gotta have your like supports like next to you.
Yeah.
Be like, all right.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm locked in. Let's go.
And then like,
okay. Well, let's see. Another question, then we'll start talking about our favorite games.
Okay.
Now for you, because spoilers, or sorry to burst everybody's bubble, but George is not the bravest man I know.
Hater.
I knew that he was a
little baby.
A little baby sometimes when it comes to scary stuff.
Yeah, when it comes to scary things.
So is there any moments from a game that's not a horror game that has scared you?
Yeah. Oh, so many.
I got a list.
I got so many. Well, I think Little Nightmares is considered horror-ish, right?
That's the thing. A lot of things fall under the genre. I don't think you need to be scary to fall under the genre, but
because like there's some games where like, oh, this is an indie bait.
Like Limbo has moments of creepiness. Yeah, again, giant spider.
Yeah, and there's some games where I'm like, oh, this is indie bait, or this is like, oh, this is like whatever. This is just like run of the mill, like what's in every indie game. But then like there'll be moments where I'm like, what the hell is this? And
creativity.
Like, that's the thing. A lot of indie developers will have so much creativity. And I remember last year, during spooky like games, I was like, all right, I gotta play spooky games. Fucking whatever. What games do I own that are spooky? And I found Little Nightmares.
I never played it. It looks cool.
It's cool. And I'm like, this isn't a horror game. This is an indie game made for babies. Because it's got everything like
made for babies. Like me.
And so I'm like, let me get in there. Yeah. And immediately I was unnerved the whole time.
Really?
The whole time I was just unnerved. Because the story elements they were tossing in were creepy as hell.
Is it a platformer?
It's a platformer.
See, that's right up my alley. I gotta play this.
It's on PlayStation Plus or Xbox.
And there's it's on Game Pass.
I think so.
I got Game Pass.
I believe so. Okay. If not, borrow my PS5. I'll
the whole thing.
Or come over and we'll play.
I can just sign into your account.
Yeah, that's right. But that's one of the games that like creep me out. Another one, because I do you mind like a small spoiler
for what
from Little Nightmares.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay. It's within the first like hour and a half. You're doing the thing right, and you're a little like toy. Like little guy, you're a little guy, and there's
like a little sack boy looking
little
guy,
sack boy looking guy with a little trench coat, super cute. And that's the thing. I'm like, oh, this is a cute game for like it's cute. It's super.
It's a cute horror game.
It's a cute horror game, and that's what freaked me out because it was cute.
They're messing with my emotions.
Anytime they add a cute factor to something, I'm immediately freaked out. Like anytime,
like to a horror thing or just
to
anything,
a horror thing, to everything. Like I can't.
So Baby Looney Tunes, you're done.
Baby Looney Tunes, I'm fine, but if they had like Baby Looney Tunes and they like put like little red eyes on them and then like put like blood, I'd be freaked out. I remember I was like an hour and a half in. I have this on stream, which I need to upload on my YouTube. Where like I'm walking down in my little trench coat and I'm like, baby game, look at me being all cute and shit. I'm so cute. And then like because I'm tiny, and there's like a part where I'm like climbing, and I just see like a chair, and the chair has been like pushed over, right?
Like, you saw it get pushed over, or
no, it was just like I just came in and I'm like weird chair pushed over.
That's not how chairs are supposed to be.
I'm like, it's supposed to be standing up, weird ass chair. And I start climbing and I start seeing legs.
What do you mean? Like human legs? Chair legs?
Like legs dangling in the sky.
Okay.
And they're like doing this move. Okay. And I'm like, nope, not doing this. Not doing this anymore.
And that's on camera.
And that is on camera.
Send me that video. I'll put that shit in.
I'll send you the video. All right, there's a checkpoint. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. There's no way. I'm immediately, in the first 15 minutes, treated to suicide. Trigger warning. You ever heard of him? What the fuck is this? Why did he just have toilet paper on a mattress? Was this like a choice? Did he like choose to do this, or was this one of those like, all right, man, I'm gonna pop one off real quick? Okay, yeah, that's a good one. That was one. Jak and Daxter.
No.
Give me like 2 minutes to explain it.
Now, I don't remember everything from Jak and Daxter, so you might need to, yeah.
So Jak and Daxter 1 and 2 have 2 moments where I'm actually genuinely afraid. Anytime I was like in the ocean and like...
Oh, wasn't there like a big fish or something?
There's a big ass... It's a lurker fish.
And wouldn't it play like a song? Like,
yeah. Yeah. Oh, that just reminded me of another one. See, I have so many of these.
Oh, here we go.
The lurker shark only comes out. It's a way in the game to make it so you can't progress faster than you need to, right?
Right.
Because there are points where it's like, oh, I'll just swim past that. Or like, I'll swim to the next level, and it like makes it a lot easier.
Like, nope.
Or like, I'll swim out of bounds. Because like, you're in an ocean, you're on an island.
Right.
You know,
In the first one.
In the first one. So there's a big island, and it's like, oh, well, we need a way to keep the player from not going past the bounds.
Right.
And so their way of doing that was to put a... lurkers are the enemies in the game. They put a lurker shark, which is like a big ass fish.
They also did that in the Scarface video game.
That's right.
There's a shark that if you swim too far, it would just come up.
And it's like a game way of like keeping you in bounds and
right.
like to,
it's a clever way to do it too. Instead of having an invisible wall,
exactly. It's like story.
It's like you'll die before you get to the invisible wall.
Mm-hmm. It's lore. And so when you fall into the ocean, or like let's say you fall, like I remember this happened to me, and I remember I was like on top of a waterfall, like collecting like the eggs, and then I fell because like it's a platformer, and I fell, and I'm like, crap, I fell. All right, well let me get back up, and then it started going, and it played this sound. And it was like a Jaws theme where it was like,
yeah.
And it just kept getting louder and louder and louder until like a fish eats you. And so now as an adult, I know where it is. And so I'm like, here he comes. And then I still like jolt a little bit. It'll still get me every once in a while. But that's like one of the ones that like, it's an action, like comedy game. It's like not supposed to be scary, but it has moments where it's like, oh geez. I'm like,
I did not think you were going to say Jak and Daxter.
I'm telling you. There's moments.
All right, well, let's start talking about some of our favorites. Yeah. And since you had your own little segment right there, or unless you got any questions for me.
I mean, was there one for you? Like, from like a non...
Actually, no, because I was thinking about that too, because I didn't want to ask you a question that I didn't have an answer for. Right. But when I was thinking about it, I was just like, I'm sure he has a funny answer.
Yeah.
But no, I can't, at least I can't think of any off the top.
Not even like a fatality that was like, oh.
No, because I'm not squeamish or anything. Like, I've been in situations where I've been at parties and I've had to clean somebody's throw up or not poop. I don't do poop stuff. That's scary.
What if there was a fatality that had a poop? No, doesn't Bo Right Cho do poop stuff?
He farts.
Yeah.
See, and that's a thing for me, just in general.
Right.
I don't think farting is funny.
Yeah.
Like when we were younger, I had a friend who thought like, oh, I'm gonna bust a fart and everybody's gonna laugh. Or even like in class, somebody accidentally farts or something.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I mean, okay, the accidental fart's funny because it's just like, you're embarrassed, you're stupid.
Right.
But just in general, like farting and poop stuff, that's not funny to me.
Right. Yeah.
It's such like a low hanging fruit.
I feel it.
Now I gotta smell you.
I remember when they did that for Bo Right Show, and I'm like, oh, he's just a fart.
Oh yeah, so that's why I brought it up. It's because like before in the PS2 era, that turned me off. I'm not gonna pick Bo Right Show, but in MKX, Bo Right Show is a combo blender machine. Like he can mix you up. He's mixed, dude. He mixes.
Oh hell yeah, he got mix-ups.
He's a DJ on that shit. He'll mix you up. He puts you in the blender. And he can combo and reset you with the fart.
No.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
I have a good ass combo with him, and it's right here.
with the fart.
But no, I actually don't have an answer for that, so I'm sorry.
That's all
but I gave you a nice little Bo Right Show story.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
So now we're gonna get into like the meat of it, just talking about our favorites.
Yeah.
So we could try to keep it short.
Okay.
Now for Resident Evil, if we got to go long, because that's a huge franchise.
We can keep Resident Evil like. We'll talk because we both played Resident Evil 7 and 8.
Right.
So we can talk about those two like.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it
separately.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. We might save that for last.
Yeah.
I guess since here's one we could both talk about. You actually got me into this game,
which was
Dead by Daylight.
Let's go. Yes.
So I don't know if I did a good enough job about introducing us to this topic, but yeah, we're gonna be talking about our favorite games. And this is probably the newest one on this list for me. Yeah, is Dead by Daylight because again, you got me into it. We've been friends now for how long have we been friends? Like 4 or 5 years?
Like +1. How long? Yeah,
like 5.
Yeah.
Where has the time gone?
Because I do it by my relationship -1.
So you measure everything by how long you've been with Judy.
Yes.
There's BJ. Oh no! Oh no! And AJ.
Let's go. But yeah, do you remember the story of how I got you into Dead by Daylight?
I don't know if there's a story. I'll just say this, but then you get to say your story.
Go for it.
It's just I tried Dead by Daylight before, like by myself.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Tried it, put it down, never played it again, and then eventually you brought it up. We played it together, and then that's probably like the last biggest game. That is the game that we played the most with each other. Me, you, and our friend Jacob.
Yeah.
And people have jumped in and out, like my brother Augie, nephew Brody, other friends. But us three just playing Dead by Daylight, just bullshitting, and all the funny moments that happen. It's great.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's a bit, but you guys know I'm scared during that game.
No, well,
I'm genuinely, when we play the game together, I'm genuinely scared.
Why?
I mean, I
should ask why. You're scared of Jak and Daxter. But, like, what's scaring you? Like, you know what's coming. You know
it's coming.
And just really quick, in case somebody's listening that doesn't know, Dead by Daylight is an online multiplayer game where 4 people play as a survivor.
5.
And 1 person with 4v1.
I thought it was 5v1.
4.
You're right.
4, and then one of them is a killer, and then after a while they started licensing, getting all the famous killers or famous fictional killers.
Famous horror now. I don't know if you saw, they added Nick Cage.
Oh yeah, Nick Cage is the newest killer.
Yeah, so they're just
Oh no, he's Survivor, right?
He's a Survivor, yeah.
Okay.
They also add some survivors from other shows.
Ghostface is in there, Michael Myers is in there. Yeah. Everybody except for Jason, because he's in his own game, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But what's your story? How did you, or that's what you're saying is your bit? Or it's not a bit?
Well, it's not a bit. I genuinely am scared during the game. Like, I'll try to mute myself during, like...
What? Really?
I don't want to be too scared. I don't... Because, like, if I'm like, ah, and, like, I scare, like... Because the whole game is... It's 4v1, right? It's asymmetric gaming. The killer's trying to get us, and we're trying to escape. The best way to do it... Because there's a couple ways to, like, get out. But the most efficient way is to get the generators... Which is, I think we have to do 5, right?
Right. 5 generators.
5 generators.
And then you get access to unlock a door.
Yes. Which is
so you still have to unlock the door.
There's, like, 2 ways to do it. The generator is the most efficient way because it's hard to get the door. And so if you mess up, because it's like a little mini game where it's like it'll come
like a meter.
Yeah, it's like a meter, and you have to, like,
quick time,
and it's over and over. And so if one of us messes up, a lot of times we'll freak out and, like, mess someone else up, especially when we're on headsets.
Right.
And I remember...
and in-game, too. In-game, you can hear an explosion.
Yeah, in-game, you'll hear the explosion. That sometimes
which alerts the killer. Exactly. So you know that the killer knows where you're at now.
Yeah, and I remember this was during the pandemic. So this was 2020. I was living, by myself. Well, I was in a room. I was, like, renting a room out.
Right.
And I was, like, bored out of my mind because all my friends were, separated. This is the pandemic. So we all got split off during this time,
Right.
You were living over here. I was living over here. Our friend was living over there. My partner was living over here.
In Utah.
We
for sure live in Utah.
Yeah, we were all living in Utah. He was in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
I was in Ohio. It's the pandemic.
Yeah, we all just moved around the country.
Exactly. And I remember I was, like, trying to get you guys to play a game with me because I was, like, lonely and I wanted to play games with you guys. And we had, like, our 3v3s and our 2v, like, we had our games, but we didn't have a game that we can 4 players play.
Right.
We had, like, Overwatch.
I was about to say, yeah, we messed around with Overwatch.
We had Overwatch. We had Apex. We had, like, Call of Duty. So we had games that, like,
Fall Guys.
We had games during
Among Us. I wasn't there for Among Us.
Oh, you weren't there for Among Us? But we had games, and I remember I was, like, trying to find games. I was always trying to get you guys into Final Fantasy 14, which, right now, great time to get into it. You can get up to level 70 for free. There's no time limit. You can make up to 2 to 3 characters, and they're giving you 3 DLCs, including Stormblood, which is the one I bought during this time. And it's a great time to get in.
Nothing is scarier than free promotion. What are you doing?
And so I was trying to get you guys into games, and I was like, I need to get a game in there. And I was playing stuff.
I like to think that you're just, like, looking at a board of just, like, X on this one. Oh, they didn't like that one. And you're just like, that's the one.
See, Among Us was going to be that game.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like during fall, I think, where it went on sale for $5. And I was like, this game is always on sale. I always see it on sale, but it's always like being played by people. And I never played it. And
that's the thing. It's always just lingered.
Yeah.
Like, it's always been there.
And I never saw it, or like I never like, put too much thought into it. It was just kind of there. It was just one of those games. And I remember it went on sale and it was like $5 or $10 or whatever it was. And it's always on sale. And so I'm like, what even is good about this game? Like that everyone wants to play it and it's always on sale. It's like always trying to get it. And so I bought it. I played like
you bought it out of like pettiness. Like,
yeah.
There's no way it's that good.
Yeah, because I'm like, it's $5.
I got it for free from PlayStation Plus whenever it dropped.
That's right.
Which is why I tried it, but I never stuck with it.
Same thing. And I got it on same thing, but I never played it because I was like, oh, Dead by Daylight, ooh, scary. And then like during the pandemic, I was like, well, I want to play a game with my friends, and so I like tested it out, and I'm like, ooh, this is fun. I'm scared shitless. I'm not doing this by myself. So it was more. I didn't want to do it by myself, and so that's why I roped you guys into it.
Suckered us in.
I suckered you in because I was like, if I have my friends here, I won't be as scared. Big lie, big mistake. I'm more scared. Yeah.
Because now you're scared of being embarrassed. Yeah, how scared you are.
Yeah, and so I like mute myself and like
I didn't realize you were like muting yourself.
Yeah. Because like the PlayStation 5 controller has a little mute button like right away, and so like I'll just push it real quick. And so there'll be moments where like I'll be doing like a thing and I'll mute it because I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. So I have my PS5 right here in the living room, and my girlfriend Jets was playing my PS4 in the other room, and she never plays with us. But I'll just say, "Hey, we need somebody else for Dead by Daylight. Yeah. Do you want to play with us? So we can do custom matches." There would be 5 of us.
Yeah,
and I don't know what happened. Who was the killer? I don't know which one of us was the killer, and I also don't know what character we picked.
Right,
that scared her so much. But because we're right here, and her door is closed, I didn't want to hear her, and she didn't want to hear me. So because we have the mics on. Yeah, and then somebody like jump scared her to where I heard her through the apartment with like my ears. Yeah, I heard her scream, and then like a second delay, I hear in the here too. So I just heard ah, and then again ah. I was like, what happened? But it's funny because like he said, he's established already that he's a little bit of a wuss. It's okay, he just a little bit. But this game, it can genuinely make you scream sometimes, which is the fun part about it.
And I think what we found out is it depends on the map and it depends on the killer
and the situation. Maybe you're working on the last generator, and then as soon as you finish, the doors open, and then here comes Michael Myers for you around the corner.
Is that who we were like the most scared of? I know
Michael Myers.
I know there's because I remember when it depends on the killer that will like have like our levels of like whatever, it's this killer. I know for like Trapper we don't give a shit. Yeah. I know for like
Bing Bong
we don't give a shit. We think it's too funny that he has to ring the bell. We think it's too funny.
He has to announce himself.
He has to say I'm here.
Ding ding.
And then we're like, oh, he's here. What?
But he can turn invisible, which plays with
that
you too.
One does. I think when he's invisible, we're a little bit like, oh, whatever. But once he bing bongs, we're fine.
The one that I remember you guys being freaked out, or at least Jacob, was Michael Myers.
Michael Myers, I think, is the one that creeps us out because of the way he stacks. Where his because all the killers have different abilities, right? And Michael Myers' ability was the longer he stares at you, the stronger he gets.
Which is really cool because that's what he does in the movie. Like He just stalks you for a while.
And like it's like a build. So like if he gets his build to the max stack, it's an instant kill. Right. He doesn't even have to do anything.
Because normally you have to get hit twice. Yes. And then you get downed.
Yeah. And then
go ahead.
You get hooked.
Yeah,
and it's 3 hooks.
3 hooks until you're dead. Yeah, 3 lives.
But with Michael Myers, if he builds enough stack on his like, what is it, fear?
I don't know.
His fear whatever his ability is called. If he builds enough of it, he one-shots you like immediately. And I think that's what freaks us out.
And you hear his music too.
Yeah, that's right. His music does play. Yeah, I think we were also like that for Ghostface. Ghostface has he has a stock ability.
I'll tell you, for me, I don't think I'm actually genuinely scared of everybody. Again, it's situational. Like, you could be anybody, and if you jump scare me, you jump scare me. Except for Ringu, the girl from The Ring.
Right.
What's her name?
Sadakoa?
No.
It's S.A. something.
Well, while he looks that up, you guys know the girl from The Ring. She actually has a bunch of TVs set up around the map next to generators that you have to work on, and you could see like some of the video. You could see her eyeball or an eyeball just looking at you. And then one of her powers is she can teleport through the TVs.
That's right.
So you could be working on a generator, and then here she comes crawling out of the TV. And the first time we played her, because they added her not too long ago, that was some scary shit.
Yeah, her name's Sadako.
Is it?
Sadako.
Okay.
Sadako. It's the Japanese version of the Ring girl,
Which is scarier.
which is, you see, you guys say she's scarier, but that's a 21-year-old woman right there. Like,
She's of age.
she's of age. If it was small child Ring girl, yes, I would agree with you guys.
But you're like, hey, she's like, we can hang out.
She got it nice.
I can go to the club with her.
Because like I've seen the one thing that I found funny for us is that like when it's like anytime it's a woman killer, I'm not scared.
No, you like the bunny girl that
God,
sings.
Huntress?
Yeah, she sings.
Huntress is so hot. Like
I just love that everybody's getting to know George, because the fighting game George, they got to know you a little bit.
Yeah.
This is George.
This is me,
he's a wuss and he's horny. It's both.
I don't know why Huntress, like, I'm like, ooh, oh,
Because she sings.
She sings to me.
She sings.
She's singing.
All right. Now I'm going to transition to a game that I think does this genre better.
Which one?
Which is Friday the 13th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love the Friday the 13th game because one, it's Jason.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite slasher.
Right.
Like Ghostface is cool, but it's freaking Jason, man.
I get it.
But just so the mechanics in that game, like maybe Dead by Daylight is a little more balanced. I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah, because I think Dead by Daylight was like indie as shit. It's like an indie company.
Well,
because I know Friday the 13th got money put into it.
Right, but I'm trying to remember the company that does that makes Friday. They made Predator as well. So as you can see, they do have more money.
Yeah, they had and it shows in their game. Because like the gameplay of Friday the 13th is a lot better. There's like fighting.
Yeah, you can actually fight back.
Yeah, you can fight back.
Because you can shine a light on Dead by Daylight in their face.
And there's one survivor that can fight back. Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
Laurie Strode.
Yes, she has a stab ability. But
so,
it's situational. In
Friday the 13th, everybody could fight back if you find the correct items. Like you shoot a flare into like his face and then he falls down.
Yeah.
There's all these different things, but the main I had a burp. The main thing about this game is that there's a bunch of cabins and obviously you're going to lock down in a cabin because that's where all the items are. But as soon as you hear the which is cool because again, that's established. Like, we all know Jason.
Yeah.
As soon as you start hearing all that and shit, you're just like, oh no, he's coming.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Jason, you can see which cabins people are in by if they're highlighted red.
Yeah.
So it's not a secret. Like, he's coming for you.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many of you. There's like 8 survivors versus one Jason. And there's different ways you can leave. You can get 3 parts for like the boat or 2 parts
for a car, right?
For a car, for a boat.
Yeah.
You can call the cops.
Yeah.
And they can like open. The point is there's different ways to escape. Yeah. So it's not just like, okay, we're all working on generators. It's one thing. It's more just like more communication and everything. And on top of that, if you get the boat, if you get the car, if you get the cops, you still have to escape. So you're driving the car, and Jason can teleport.
Oh my god!
Like in universe, like in the movies, no, he just pops up. But you're just like, how is he that fast?
Right.
And here they're just like, fuck it, he can teleport. So what's funny is like when you're Jason and you can. When you're Jason, you open up the map. If somebody's in a car already, like you hear it.
Yeah.
If they're driving, you can see like their arrow and you can teleport right in front of them and you crash into them.
Yeah, and you survive it.
And so everybody's like alive, but now Jason is right there and there's a stranded car with like 3-4 people and everybody's just scattering and somebody needs to fix the engine again.
Yeah.
So just all these different elements that I think make it good. But again, the main part is that you're in a cabin.
Yeah.
And Jason is just, okay, I know you're in there. So you can take your time, just put a freaking bear trap by the window, put another bear trap by this window, and then you bust through the door. So you bust through the door, and then obviously, like, either you see a crowd of people, or you see, like, one person, and you're just like, all right, I know there's more than one person in here. Or you don't actually know, but you're just like, okay, so I can chase the person that just went out the window if they escape the bear trap. There might be somebody hiding under the bed. there's so many different options, and I just think it did it better.
Yeah, I think that it like because Dead by Daylight's been around for like 7 years or something. It's something ridiculous, and I think Jason came out like 2 years into its lifespan, so it like was able to kind of perfect like stuff because you can't really like once a game.
I didn't realize that. I thought Friday came out first.
I think it was the other way around. I mean, we could fact check it later. But I do know that they like one. You know when like games come out and they're kind of similar, and then like one of them will like find a way to like make the other one better,
right?
And so like
Fortnite does it all the time. They take all the elements that Apex does well and stuff like that.
They took the ping system, like they took the revive.
I was gonna say revive. That was a big one.
Yeah, so like there's like I think it makes the games better.
Oh, it does. That's why competition is good.
Yeah, and I remember the only thing that sucks is that like because it's Jason, it's more expensive. And
yeah, it was always like $40.
Mm-hmm. And then there was lawsuits against because they couldn't use every Jason.
That's the thing is like Jason or Friday the 13th, all of it. Mm-hmm. The whole brand is like a licensing nightmare. Yeah. Like they don't know who owns what, and there's like a whole lawsuit recently.
Right, because like there's one of them that's like I own the design, I own the script,
and then there's a difference between young Jason and then older Jason. It's so weird.
There's like a difference between like I own the one that has the weird like potato mask, and I'm like, well, I own the hockey mask design. Yeah. It's like there's a whole thing with it, and I remember that was the reason why that game ended up suffering.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and it sucks because like we can't get a sequel from it, or maybe we could if they could figure it out. But why would you deal with that licensing nightmare?
Yeah, because that's the thing, you got to deal with the
suits.
Like, the suits of like, oh, pay me for the design. It's like, well, why should I pay you? I wrote the script. Like, it's a whole thing, and that's why like it sucks. And that's why I think Dead by Daylight it's like skating because it's like they play nice and they like whenever like their license runs out, they're like, well, our license ran out. Sorry. Like we don't want to pay it again. It's way more expensive. And so like their issue is Stranger Things. They bought the license.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They got the license for it. I forget for how long, but then the license ran out. And instead of them being like, we're going to fight it, they're like, let it rock. And so it sucks that like we can't have the.
It's cool that they point the finger. They're like, "Hey, it's not us."
Yeah.
Get mad at Netflix.
Yep. So like I can see like where good games could be like great.
Right. Last thing on Friday is that it sucks that the servers are down now.
Yeah.
Oh man, because if they weren't this Friday the 13th, how cool would it be? Yeah, in October, everybody hop on. We'll freaking play some Jason.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Okay, so let me pass it to you. What's one of your favorite horror games?
Well, we'll save Resident Evil because I think that's the best one. I'll give a shout out to Little Nightmares. I played the first one. It's like 5 hours or 4 hours. It's something small. It's ridiculously good in its storytelling and like the way it like structures itself because it's an indie game.
How long are they? Like what, 6-7 hours, something like that?
Little Nightmares first one I think is like 4 or 5 hours. It's you can beat it in one shot.
Yeah,
it's a one shot game.
And there's about to be a third one.
Yes,
so they got a nice little franchise going.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I like when indie games what's the word take inspiration from like other established stuff. Like it takes a lot of inspiration from Inside and Limbo.
Okay.
And so like I think that kind of storytelling is super cool. Like because it's like it's not gonna have the best graphics, it's not gonna have the best, you know.
But that's the thing with indie games is the art styles for me is like what sells it.
Yeah.
Like something like a Cuphead. That's way different. That's a lot of work. That's all hand drawn, but still like if you don't have all the money in the world to make like I don't even want games to look realistic. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. Like give me a unique art style.
Yeah.
Also like when they start copying each other's art styles, I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Like when everything started looking like Fortnite.
That's right, yeah. No, yeah, because I remember I played it and I was like, oh, this is like Limbo. This is like Inside. And I completely thought it was gonna be that. It was gonna be just Inside Limbo. But the way like it's not hard, it's a platformer. But like the story that it tells, and I don't want to spoil the story because I think the story is like
really
that good. I'll spoil the like the stuff you see in the first like hour because it's like background stuff. It's like background stuff that like, oh, whatever. Like stuff that creeps me out is like you'll find shoes. Like you'll find
now shoes are scary. Add it to the list. Skulls, shoes.
Because to me, like seeing like there's like what is it? It's like what is it? 3-sentence horror. Do you know about that? Nope. It's like 3-sentence horror scares me. It's like prompts. It's like writing prompts, I believe, of like setting up a horror thing, and then you fill the blanks. You fill in the blanks.
Okay, yeah. So it's like you're saying earlier, it's scarier what you don't see.
Exactly. So it's like
you put a story behind these shoes.
Yeah, like the one that like creeped me out when I was like learning about 3D sentence story is like I'm out in space by myself, no one around, on this house. One day, I hear a knock on the door, and then I'm like, "What happened?"
Shoes.
Or like what is it? Story world? I forget what it's called. It's like when you're playing Last of Us and like you'll read a script and then,
that I like when you put the story you put the story together, but it's like it's there for you. Like environmental story.
That's what it is. I've seen ones like that, like one that makes me sad or like I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Why'd you make me feel that? Is like baby shoes for sale, worn.
That what? What are you telling me?
Like you'll be like on
baby shoes that are worn?
Yes. Baby shoes for sale.
For sale that are worn.
Yeah.
So Goodwill is just scaring the shit out of you.
Yes.
Because you can't go thrifting with
you. Because what happened to that baby?
I never thought of it that way, but you know what happened? They grew up. They doesn't fit anymore.
See, that's what like the normal route is. But I'm like, oh my god, that baby died.
Was decapitated.
That baby was killed.
Jason got to her.
Yeah. But I think Little Nightmares is that. It's like it's a great story. It's a great quick game. It's like it's not always on sale, but it's like kind of free to play.
Okay.
If you like have like a subscription.
I feel like I have one of them through PlayStation Plus.
If you have a subscription, I'm sure it's like.
And you said that it's on Game Pass, so
I believe so. I think 3 is going to be on Game Pass. They always cycle them out.
Okay. My turn.
Go for it.
Shout out to Dead Space. I love Dead Space, man.
Dude.
I didn't get the remake because your boy's broke.
Yes.
And there's too many good games coming out.
Way too many.
I think I bought Hogwarts instead.
Oh, you piece of shit. I told you what to do. I told you we're buying it from Goodwill.
Nothing scarier than J.K. Rowling and supporting a transphobe.
Radical feminist.
It's a lot of scary stuff that are not games that we're talking about. But yeah, Dead Space, I loved it. I love that era of just PS3 where it's just like everything, like it was a bunch of third-person games, some first-person, but it was just like everybody had ideas and all the games were being made. We don't have that anymore.
No,
but
it's remake and remaster of it.
Yeah, that's why
original idea.
And that's the thing, like indie games are where all that creativity is coming from nowadays. But it sounds funny because Dead Space is such a huge IP now. But Dead Space 1 came out, and it was just a cool game, right? It was just cool. And again, it's by EA, so it's no small game.
Yeah.
But still, it wasn't like taking the world by storm, nothing like that.
It was an idea that's like, it's like, oh, you're in space.
Yeah, like, we need an idea. What can we do?
Zombies in space.
Zombies, Iron Man, space.
I got it.
Got it, yeah. So just the leveling up system in there, all the different armors that you get. And then again, like the unique gameplay of Dead Space where it's not like, oh, decapitate. Because again, you said zombies.
No.
They're not zombies, but they're like infected. But you don't decapitate the head. It's like you have to cut off the limbs. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, you have some melee options. You can swing your arm or you can stomp. And the way that it feels when you stomp someone out, it's so satisfying. Yeah. So you'll knock off the legs off like this alien zombie looking thing and then you just stomp them out. It feels so good. The environments were already good before, but then looking at the remake, it's so much better. It's so good.
I think the coolest thing is the no health bar and
there's no HUD.
There's no HUD.
But the way you tell your health,
it's like the spine thing.
Yeah, so it's cool. Like of the armor. It's
like the spine. Like normally it's because you're wearing a suit of armor, right? So the spine part of the armor will glow. And
when you get upgrades, you get a new suit, but it has another bar of health, but it's on your spine.
Yeah.
And on top of that, your stasis, like your little slow-mo, it's another part on your spine, or it's like next to the spine on your shoulder. Yeah. And then that too, like it'll like run low. Yep. So I forgot about that, but
it's so sick.
I gotta get the new one. That's what I gotta do this October. The sweetie game, I'm playing Mortal Kombat right now.
All right.
But yeah, just shout out to that, and I'll do one more, and then I'll pass it back to you. I already did 3 of mine. We're saving Resident Evil for last, so I actually have 2 more, but I'll do one, pass it back.
Okay.
Outlast. Have you played Outlast?
I have them, and I'm too scared to put them on.
Again, Another unique one. I don't think it's indie. I don't know who makes it.
Yeah.
It could be indie or it could be one of those like smaller major studios or something like that. Yeah. I'm not too familiar with who made it. But if you don't know, this is a horror game shot like, I mean, the perspective is a camera.
Yeah.
You're walking around this camera because you're like a reporter.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Journalist.
Something like that.
And first you're investigating this like asylum. I don't know what the sequels are because I just played the first one.
Yeah.
But you're walking around this camcorder, and then at night, I mean, the whole gimmick is that you're walking around with this.
Yeah.
At night, which is most of the time, you'll get batteries. So you need to have batteries to...
That's the part of the fucking...
Yeah.
I hate that.
To use your camcorder in night vision. So it's all like green night vision.
Yeah.
And you're just walking around like that. Like you don't have a gun or anything. It's just survival horror. And just that gimmick was so well done.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
Yeah, because it's like, to me, unique ideas are where like I think, it's the because it's like someone's like it's like we've had so many years of games where it's like it's the same thing over again,
right?
But it's like the what's it called the Blair Witch projects.
Okay,
it's
just the found footage.
Yeah, it's just Blair Witch, but it's like doing it in a game. And then like making it unique to the idea is what I think makes something.
And then you need to find batteries in order for your camera to keep working. Otherwise, you're just in the dark.
Yeah.
So you need to explore. Right. And then you're going to find more scary shit. So it's a good hook.
Right. I agree.
Okay. What you got for me?
So I was going to ask, like, do you consider a game with horror elements to be horror?
I mean, well, what do you got?
Last of Us.
Yes. Yeah. I did not even consider it. The Last of Us series, both of them are probably my top 2 favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
I've mentioned that plenty of times on this podcast already. I did not consider putting this in the horror category, but you're absolutely right.
Here's the thing. I think we should just save Last of Us because that's like a whole thing in itself. And I will gush about the story and everything about Last of Us.
When Last of Us 3 comes out, we'll do a retrospective.
Bet.
3 years from now, we'll have at least 1,000 subscribers.
Start crunching them.
Yeah. You see, we could have it in 2 years.
Just crunch them. Like, that's all you got to do.
I mean, I like to work on video games. I don't get the big deal.
I'll put 60 hours.
Sign me up.
But we'll just talk about the horror part of it.
Yeah.
There's something about, because it's not zombies, it's infected.
Right.
We can't say zombies.
But it's a take on zombies.
Yeah, and there's like moments where it definitely leans into the horror aspect. Like, because there's parts where I'm like, oh, this is Last of Us. This isn't a horror game. But then we'll go into like a house, and then in the house, it's like dark and lit. It's like darkly lit.
It's lit.
And like you can see the spores, and I'm like, nope, this is a horror game now.
Not doing it. Pretty much when the clickers come around. Yes. Whenever you're seeing clickers, it's just like, shit.
Because that's the game where I'm like, oh, they can definitely, like, not Last of Us 2 spoilers, but there's a level in Last of Us 2 where you're like underground in a subway area.
Oh, yep.
And that one freaks me out. Like, it messes me up so hard. Like, lighting is all red. And I won't spoil it because I think it's cool.
Right.
And we can talk about it in like 2 years.
They're the best at environmental storytelling.
Yeah.
They'll make you feel whatever they want.
Oh, yeah. And so I think that's, one of the it's not a horror game, but it's a game with horror elements.
I think it might be.
I think it's too
just
cool.
A survival game?
I think it's too cool.
Okay. So under your definition, you don't think it's a horror game?
No, I think it has horror elements.
But if Blockbuster was still around, would it be under the horror game category?
I think it would because they would probably they would probably put it under zombie.
Oh, you think it's a specific zombie category?
They would put it under zombie, even though it's like that's not the story they're telling. But,
right.
But I think they would put
Zambies.
Yeah, they would put it in zombie.
All right. What else you got?
I think it's not a game that I personally have played, but I think it's one of those like it's in the like
the realm.
Yeah, if you type in best horror games, it's gonna show up. I think Silent Hill.
I was going to ask you, because I have a little section of like games that I haven't played that I was wondering if you have. That was one of them.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I never got into it.
We can talk about it, because I think it's one of my favorite, like, because I never played them, but I watched gameplay of it, and I think it's cool. I don't think I would play it, because I think it's too of its time, and it's dead now, so, like, there's no point in, like, going back to play a PS1 and PS2 game.
Right.
But I think what it did at the time was cool, because, the way it showed the story, it's like, I'm this guy and my wife died and like I want to go find my wife. And then like it's PS1, PS2 era where it's like, well, we need to sell like, you know, the horror aspect, but we can't because we're limited by our technology.
Right.
And so the way it sells it is by making a huge fog of war. Like they make the game like the fog of like Seattle. I forget where. But it's like it's environment, like it's like, oh yeah, of course Seattle's gonna be foggy in the mornings. And it's like, no, the whole city is this. And it's like that's how you do it. And then they just do it by showing like horror aspects of like, oh, I'm in a hospital. Why are all the nurses like bandaged up and like trying to kill me? And I think that's like one of the ones that I'm like, oh yeah, I can give it props. I'll give it props. I haven't played them.
Right.
And I never like, because there's some comedy elements to it.
I haven't played it, but I've also never looked it up or anything. All I know is Pyramid Head.
Dude, Pyramid Head's the one that scares the crap out of me. He's like a giant evil, like it's a manifestation of evil because it's like I forget what the dude's name is, but he's like a manifestation of that guy's repressed sexual like
what?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, he's like Pyramid Head's like something that it's like that was made from I forget what the guy's name. I keep thinking Ethan Winters. So that's Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like his sexual like aggression.
Okay.
Because like the first time you meet
why
him,
a pyramid?
I don't know. But the first time you meet him,
pointy dick or something. Yeah, what are they going for?
Maybe because like the first time you meet him, he's like assaulting this like dummy, and he's just like, "Ugh," and it's like, oh nope, not doing that.
How do you sound?
I'm not.
That's a pretty good noise.
I had one. I lost it. Besides Silent Hill.
Well, let me throw one at you.
Go for it.
Dead Island.
Did
you ever get into that?
I looked into the first game. My friend had it. In college, we played like a couple hours of it. I didn't. I mean, it's kind of scary. But I think it's too. Its reputation will still be too limited to its trailer.
That trailer was so good. It's another really good trailer. Yeah. And the tone of the trailer was not how the game felt.
No.
The game was very bright and colorful, and it was more fun. It was a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
I put probably like 30 hours into it.
Yeah.
But I didn't get into it like that. Like I didn't get obsessed with it. My brother did. He probably put hundreds of hours into it.
Yeah, because when we played it, like the couple hours I was at my friend's house in college, I'm like, yeah, this is just another run of the mill. I didn't think it was like a big. I didn't think it was like lighting the world on fire.
Right.
The trailer did. And that's why I think it's like, damn.
The trailer is playing that sad piano, and then it's going backwards.
Of like the girl coming back. Like I think it was tainted by what we imagined.
Yeah.
Because of the trailer.
Our expectations were too high.
Exactly.
What about Slender Man? Because I had a PlayStation, it wasn't out at the time, but it was huge on PC.
So I don't know, because you could have played it. You never had like a good computer to play it, huh? Well, that's what you've told me, because I'm trying to get you into
I said
PC.
I never had a computer. You said, oh, you never had a good computer. Wait a second.
Because I've been trying to get you into PC gaming.
So is this dude Saul, my friend who's popped up on the podcast. He's been trying to get me into PC gaming since like 2013.
We can get you in. Just like
I'm just not buying it. It's just the money though. I'm just not buying it.
We'll save for 3 years and we'll get you in.
There you go. Give me some used parts.
We could have
some used baby shoes.
Yeah, I could have. I sold worn
used worn baby shoes.
But I remember I played it on my laptop because this was back in like 2013. Like this is when Slender Man was like super popping. And the story of Slenderman was like creepy because it was like, oh, there's this giant like limb man that attacks you when you find his papers.
As a skinny guy, I was very offended.
Yeah,
that he's just a skinny guy in a suit.
Because I'm like, what's so scary about that? But then like playing the game, I'm like, no, I don't like this, because it was like flashlight, and then like finding the papers like makes him more aggressive.
Right.
The whole game is like the closer you are to finishing, the closer he is to coming to get you. Because like when you're at 6, he's over here. When you're at 5, he's here. When you're at 4, he's here.
Right.
And like he gets closer as you get papers, and so that's where I think the scary part is. But I think it's kind of a meme now. Like, I don't think it's like It's not like
Was there not a movie?
there was, but it was like shit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think that's what it is. It's like when it's like indie and when it's raw, it's like this is scary. When it's small and like
same with horror movies.
Yeah.
Like the big produced CGI filled ones aren't as good as just like even like The Exorcist back then. That shit looks scary because it's on a real
I'm
set.
scared about the 80s one. Like the 80s one is the one or 70s?
I think whatever. The original.
Early one. Yeah. That one scares the crap out of me, but the modern one, not really.
Did you see the trailer for the new one?
No, I haven't.
It actually looks pretty creepy.
I'm not touching it.
It comes out on Friday.
I'm not touching modern horror. But there are some points where I'm scared of the thing and I don't want to touch it, but then it does get popular, and I'm like, yay! I like this. I'm good with this. I don't know if it's on there or if you were gonna ask me.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna bring it up. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, I didn't. No,
you didn't. That's
like the biggest one for Gen Z. They love Friday. They love Five Nights at Freddy's.
Enough
FNAF, yeah. I don't know what you're doing.
You don't know the song? You're such a boomer. Because for me, I remember when FNAF first came out, and like it was on PC. I think the reason
you called it FNAF. You are in there.
Yeah, instantly. FNAF was the one where, because like I was in college and it came out, and like I was on my laptop and I pirated it. Like I didn't pirate it. I owned it legally. I had a second copy.
Sure.
And I remember it was back on PC and then it like blew up and now it's on everything. But I played like the first hour, like the first like night. I think it was like a demo. Like it felt like a demo because like I can never beat it. This is like when it like first came out, like first came out. And I was like terrified of it. And I'm not scared of the Chuck E. Cheese, like
the animatronics, yeah.
Because some people are, and I never got that. Because like when I was a kid, I always liked it.
I was more scared of Chucky.
Yeah, I'm more scared of dolls.
Like the guy that was in like the mascot Chucky that was walking around.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like yeah.
At Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah.
I remember I was scared of mascots. Like when I was when I was a super baby.
Yeah.
I was scared of mascots. Like I was scared of like whenever we would go to Disneyland. I was scared of like the Mickey Mouses,
right?
And like,
see, I didn't go to Disneyland when I was younger.
Oh, maybe
we went to Chuck E. Cheese, and then on my birthday, I think it was my birthday. Chucky would always be walking around. Charles Entertainment Cheese. I don't mean Chucky the doll.
Yeah,
Charles Entertainment Cheese was walking around. And my sister used to work there.
Oh,
so we were there. My sister was working, and then when I got really scared, and then I hid under the table.
Yeah, my brother did that too.
Yeah,
my brother was scared of Chucky. When we went to Chuck E. Cheese, he would always be scared, and I think I was a little bit older, so I wasn't as scared. But I remember I'm like, I definitely know what that feels like.
Yeah,
because I was scared of Disneyland. When I would see the mascots, the only one I wasn't afraid of was Donald Duck. He was the only one.
It was a duck
because he was my favorite.
Oh,
so
okay,
I think I had bias. Like, I think I was biased towards Mickey Mouse because I'm like, oh, I don't like you.
So, Charles Entertainment Cheese is walking around, and I know he's coming my way. So, I go under the table. And then from just memory, because it's so long ago, it feels like a dream.
Right.
Or a false memory. But from memory, I'm under the table.
Yeah.
And then I see the feet of Chucky there.
No.
And I could have swore my sister's the one, or somebody told Chucky, Charles Entertainment Cheese, that I was underneath.
Yeah.
So, from my point of view, it's like a horror movie where I'm just underneath and I see all these legs and my vision is just like, it's cut off right here, right? There's no peripheral. It's just all cut off. Yeah. And then out of nowhere, I just see Charles Entertainment Cheese and he just goes like that. Like,
oh my God.
Like he looks under and I just freaks out. Like, why would you do that?
That would terrify me. That's nightmare fuel.
Ever since then, fuck mice.
Dang what?
All of them.
But I remember I was terrified of Five Nights at Freddy's because like I like genuinely the because it's the game itself is it's like baby's first game. It's literally just cameras, and that's kind of
you don't even move,
and like a flashlight that you have to.
But
reset.
It's genius.
Yeah, and it's super smart because it's like found footage. The story is what makes it scary. Because the story when the game came out, you had to piece together.
Right.
You had to piece together. There were like newspaper clippings, and like you had to like read the newspaper clippings. You had to check the characters' animatronics and why they were fucking like messed up, and like theories were like coming out like crazy. And I remember when it got popular, the second one came out, and then like even more theories, and the third one got more theories. And like now I think the story is super cool. I think the story of like this evil dude like stuffing kids into the animatronics, I think that's scary.
I don't know the lore like that, but the movie trailer came out and I saw people commenting in there, and I was trying like to piece together what they were saying, and somebody brought that up and I was like, oh shit, that's what this is?
Yeah. Oh, I'll do a quick FNAF run. The story is that this one dude, it's for the longest time we just called him Purple Guy. It's his name. I think his name's Michael Afton.
Okay, like one of the animatronics, or
no? He was like one of the guys that worked at the Freddy Fazbear location.
Okay.
And he like lured kids into the like the overnight. He would like lure them after hours, and then he would kill them and then stuff them into the animatronics.
Jesus.
And the animatronics would like be with the kids inside them during.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
How does that make sense?
He stuffs them in there.
Yeah.
And then what?
And
they're just in there?
And then they're just in there, and then like...
And they eventually die?
So what happened is like they find out because he kept doing this over time. Like he kept killing kids and like stuffing them into other animatronics.
Oh, so he kills them and then stuffs them in.
Yes.
I thought they were just like gagged and then thrown in there.
No. He's
what does he get off of that?
He straight up like does like kills.
All
and
right.
then like he puts them in there, and then they're in the animatronics, and I think the whole like the story you piece together is like that the only reason people found out about it is because the animatronics started to smell because they'd been in there for so long. And then like the kids possess that don't make sense. Like they become ghosts. Yeah. And they like possess it.
I don't know why I'm being so harsh on this.
I remember I watched like the MatPat video, like the game theory videos. And like this was like his bread and butter for like 10 years. This was like
he got all those kids.
He just kept making theories about the thing, and like I watched them for like they're like 5 hours long or whatever. And like at one point I'm like, you're just making shit up. Like yeah, that's what I felt. And then like the creator is like, yeah, he's just making shit up. Like this is not at all what I wanted. And like he just kind of makes fun of him now. Like
the creator makes fun of him.
Yeah, the creator makes fun of MatPat. And like in the books, which I forget if he wrote or if he like
there's books too. Jeez,
dude, it's like a kid's thing now. Like so that's the thing. It was
that's their Goosebumps.
Yeah, it was small and now it's big, and now I'm not as scared of it as I was, because like now that it's big and kids like it, they've like not dumbed it down, but made it like kid friendly. And so now there's books, and like now the characters like have merch, and all the merch is cute, and so like I'm like, okay, this is fine. I remember in the books, the creator Scott Cawthorn, like to shit on MatPat, he like, I forget which book it's from, and don't quote me, he makes one of the characters a MatPat like clone. Like he like he like writes it.
He shits on him.
He shits on him.
Why is he so petty about it?
He like, I don't know. I think
unless that's a shout out. He's like, hey, you've been supporting this game for so long.
See, it would be if the context wasn't shit.
Okay.
Like he writes him in there, right? He writes this like dude in there, and then he like makes one of the animatronics like get him pregnant.
What?
Yeah. It's in one of the books. I forget which one. I think with like a ghost baby.
I was gonna watch the movie. I'm over it now.
No, you watching that movie.
I'm over it.
I'm watching that movie day one, and we're going.
They better change the lore.
I think the lore's still gonna be the same. It's still gonna be the 5 kids that are killed.
I'm fine with that, but getting each other pregnant.
This is like Star Wars.
This is the Disney Plus show.
Exactly. This is the Disney Plus show. This is when Star Wars wasn't owned by Disney, and this is when they like would put stuff in the books. And then like,
well, that was canon
at the time.
At the time, yeah,
yeah. And so this is like all like whatever. This is book stuff.
All right,
I don't count it.
I've had enough.
All right,
I've had enough FNAF. All right, any other games you want to mention before we get into Resident Evil? Because that's gonna be like 4 or 5 games to talk about.
That's gonna be my game. I don't.
Or just a shout out, just like, hey, that's cool.
I'm trying to think because like there's some
Luigi's
Mansion. Big first shout.
Luigi's Mansion.
I'm gonna give a shout out to the baby games.
That's a horror game.
Shout outs to.
It's just not scary.
It's just not scary. Luigi's Mansion I think is so cute, and like I love Luigi. Right?
Here's what I want you to do.
Oh.
I want you to go off and entertain the people for 30 seconds while I go get some water.
Okay, good.
I'll be right back.
So when the GameCube came out, right? Everyone's like, we're gonna get a 3D Mario game. We always get them. We got Super Mario 64. Or nobody was like saying that, but like Super Mario 64 just came out, revolutionized the 3D like platformer, right? everyone was like, hell yeah, Super Mario 64 is awesome. And like there was no Luigi in the game. And so there was like little like Easter eggs of like, oh, L is real in like one of the levels and whatever. And there was no Luigi in the 3D games. And so a couple years pass, you know, we never get Luigi in a 3D game. And it's
I think you're going to go to the history of Luigi.
And we're in there. We're announced that Luigi's going to get a GameCube game. And we're like, hell yeah. It's called Luigi's Mansion. And we're like, let's go. Luigi's going to be the first one in. And then like, they're like, we're not going to do a Super Mario 3D. It's going to come out later. We need more time to work on it. Launch game, Luigi's Mansion, and then Wave Racer. And everyone's like, this is peak. The GameCube will never lose to the PS2 and the Xbox. And then Luigi's Mansion comes out, and it's a horror, or it's not a horror game, but it's like, it's kind of.
Then why are we talking about it?
Because it makes Luigi the best character. Luigi is a little pussyfoot character that's scared of everything.
Mario.
Like, I love him so much.
I love Luigi too. I pick him in Mario Kart and Smash Bros.
I think Luigi's Mansion gave that man so much character development.
Facts.
And made him like leagues above Mario. I hate Mario now. No one, if anyone,
all my homies hate
Mario. Every time I play Super Mario, I'll try to find a mod, give him a green hat. Like in Odyssey, the moment I got the green hat and the green overalls, immediately put them on him. Like my love for Luigi just skyrocketed with
we need that Luigi's Mansion movie after the Mario movie. How good that was!
I think they were like kind of hinting at
exactly, yeah.
Because like
they showed some love.
Yeah, when he was like with the skulls,
the dry bones,
with the dry bones and like the Shy Guys. But I remember I played it because it was like a launch game. So you got the GameCube and then you got Luigi's Mansion because you had to wait for Sunshine. And I remember I played it and I'm like, oh, this is ass. Like, I did not like it.
Really? The first one?
The first Luigi's Mansion? I didn't like it.
I remember liking it when it came out when I was younger.
Yeah. I remember I was playing it and I'm like, this isn't Mario. Like, I was such a kid back then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. And like, I hated it, but I love that they characterized him. I like that he was like a little baby. He was a scaredy cat and like he has this mansion and whatever. And like now as an adult, I love the game. I play it every like Halloween time. I'm gonna play it on stream.
Did you play 3?
I haven't played 3, but I liked the Gooigi. I liked the little Gooigi.
3 was cool because you could play. That's a girlfriend game.
Yeah.
So me and Jets got it because she was interested in it, and I hadn't played since the first one way back then. And we just beat the whole game. It took like a while. It was like an hour or two here or there on a weekend. But yeah, it was really fun. Really good girlfriend game.
Yeah, I think now it's established that like this game is like, oh, it's a Luigi's Mansion game. It's not like a Mario thing. It's like, oh, this is Luigi's thing.
Right. It's a brand.
Yeah, and so I think it's a cute little GameCube game that like I'm like, this is sick. I like this because it's like the GameCube didn't really have that many horror games. It had like 3 or 4 that I can think off the top of my head. I remember I played a 4-player co-op game called Hunter the Reckoning. That game sucks ass. I do not like that game. Now that I'm an adult, I'm like, ooh, this thing was garbage. But
was that a PS2 game?
It was a PS2 game. It was like it came out on GameCube first, and then the sequel came out on the PlayStation because they're like, we need more power. And I remember when I played it, I was kind of scared of it. Just because I was playing with my friends and like
it's a multiplayer game.
Yeah, it's like a 4-player co-op, like third person, like not third person, over the top view kind of game.
Okay,
like
never mind.
Like a shooter.
There's this one like PS2 game that was like a 4-player co-op game or a versus game.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to you would pick up these giant swords or axes and you would fight each other with them. You could throw them.
I know what you mean.
I forgot which game it is. Like me and my brother always try to remember what it is, and we try to find gameplay of it, and I don't know what it is.
I know Lord of the Rings had a game that copied that.
Okay,
it like copied.
It was just like a verse. Like you're just in an arena and you pick up giant swords and you fight.
Yeah,
but you were able to just chuck them, and it would like pin them and everything. If you know what it is, let me know.
I know that game was a horror game. There's another horror game which I'm blanking out on. It starts with an A, I think. I think it's called like Amethyst. It's like one of those like scary. Let me just put. I'm just because I have this much confidence it's going to show up. I'm just going to put scary GameCube game
A,
and I think it'll show up.
While he does that, There was
Eternal
also
Darkness.
Oh,
Right away.
Eternal
Darkness.
Internal
Eternal. Eternal Darkness
with an A,
with an E.
Eternal.
It came up right away. I remember this game because my cousin, like I think he played it and we played it for a bit. The gimmick of that game is that it's like a scary, spooky game that like messes with your console. It's like it's like how Metal Gear would like mess with the controller and stuff. Right. It like did this thing that would mess with your memory card. That would like delete itself if you like didn't do something in the game good enough. I don't remember if it erased your whole saves, like every save that you had on your memory card, or if it was just the game save.
Right.
But it would do stuff to the game, like in the game, that would mess with your controller and like and that's what made it scary.
That's some Kojima shit.
Yeah, right. And then I just look, Resident Evil's on there, so we're gonna.
Well, we can go in there next. I just want a quick shout out, unless you have something to say about them. Remember that game Fear?
Yeah,
it was like a ghost girl. It was like a military game, but there's a ghost girl.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's it. Remember that?
Remember that?
I do.
I do remember that.
Big shout out to Bioshock, because
that's right.
I watched my brother play the first one on 360 when it first came out.
Yeah.
Just like on and off. I think I was playing like SmackDown versus Raw, and then I'd peek over and watch him play. So I kind of saw some of it, like the healing the baby girls, the little girls, whatever.
Do you know about the gimmick of it's like the you have a choice,
right?
So either
it's hurt or heal.
And it's like either you make yourself stronger, or you heal them,
right?
And I remember like
you like rub their head,
and they'd be like, it's okay, and then they like go off and be whatever, and they apparently it comes back in the
at the end, he did the good ending, so that's what happened.
Yeah. Because I remember I'm like, what does the evil ending like? I'm like, what? Because I made a save, and I'm like, what does it do? And then like
I'm curious,
and he like just sucks the life out of it, and I'm like, no, don't like that.
You just snap their neck.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So yeah, shout out to Bioshock. I only played Infinite, which is totally different. That's an action game.
Yeah, the first one is the one that's the scary one, because like it has the drill,
the Big Daddies. And just that opening is so iconic. Where like first you deal with like the wrench guy. I think you have a wrench, or I think you get it from him.
Yeah, you get a wrench from them.
Like you go into the lighthouse, you go down, whatever. But when you first see the Big Daddy. Yeah. And see how he just manhandles this splicer, I think they're called.
Yeah.
It's so terrifying. You're just like, I'm going to have to fight that later.
Yeah.
And you fight multiple.
Yeah, I thought it was one, but no, it's a bunch of them.
So good, so iconic. I haven't played it, so I didn't put it on like my favorites list. But shout out.
I played the first one, that's it. And I want to play the other ones. I think they're on the schedule.
Video games used to be so good. There used to be so many good ones, because there are still very good ones.
Yeah,
but it's just it takes so much money and resources now that it feels like we only get one big game every at least once a month.
Yeah, and I think
before it felt like every week, man.
Yeah, and during that time, it's like people were throwing ideas on the wall, and so like they're like, all right, it's October, this one horror game.
Here's prototype.
Yeah, and it's like here's this one horror game we're trying, and it's like, let's try it, and then it like fails, and like they're like, we're not trying it again.
Didn't lose that much money.
Yeah, and so nowadays it's like, all right.
They can't fail, or otherwise studios close.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, we're not throwing a horror game out because it's very niche. It's only 3 months out of the year.
Even big studios are closed. Didn't BioWare close?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the Saints Row.
Volition.
They just closed, yeah.
How crazy. Just because their newest Saints Row game didn't perform well.
And that's why it's on PlayStation Plus, baby.
Hey! And then I guess the last shout out, because again, another one I haven't played but I've been interested in is Alan Wake.
I know that one's getting they like originally it was only on the Xbox.
Right.
It was only on the Xbox, and so I never got to play it because I was a PlayStation boy. But then they remade it, and so now it's on everything. I do want to give it a shot. I do think it's cool.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. And I think the idea of like I'm a journalist and doing the thing, it's like played out, but that game did it.
I was about to say, did they not do it first? Or
I think that's what it was. I'm like, this one did it good. Like,
yeah.
That's one of the ones that did it good.
All right. Last one.
I have one more shout out.
Okay.
Until Dawn.
It's on my list.
Is it?
Yes, it's on my list and I didn't get to it.
You didn't talk about it?
No. I just want proof. It's up there.
Where's the proof?
Like the third or fourth one on the top. It's Until Dawn. Yeah.
Why didn't you talk about it?
I think I skipped to Have You Played? Have you played Alan Wake?
No, Until Dawn.
No, Until Dawn is awesome. Yeah. And again, I feel like all these games that we're talking about are all very unique.
Yeah, it's let's throw an idea and let's try it, and then it works out, and then they make Man of Medine.
Madon. They have a bunch. They have like 4 or 5.
Because the one did good. Because Until Dawn did good, and it's like, let's try it again.
Now, where they messed up is that or at least PlayStation should have bought them.
I think so too. I think if PlayStation bought them, they would have had, a horror game like thing.
Yeah, little. It would be part of the ecosystem where it's like, oh, once a year or once every 2 years we can count on. Is it Ready at Dawn? Is that the studio that made them?
I forget, but I know that the guys that made Until Dawn make all those games. But now they're multi-system, so they're on everything.
Yeah, and they're cheaper.
Yeah,
like they still got actors in there, like actual actors, but it's cheaper.
It's not like the Sony money, because the first one was just Sony.
They had Rami Malek in there right before he blew up.
Yeah,
but still.
And I was like, I'm like, is that the guy from Night at the Museum?
Ben Stiller?
No, Rami Malek.
Is he in one of them?
Yeah, he's the Egyptian. He's the
that's
the
right. That's right. He's also in Twilight.
Yeah, that's right. And I remember I saw him in Hayden Panettiere?
Panettiere.
Yeah, she was in there. And I'm like, oh, okay. They got some guys in. And then like I was like just enamored by it. Because I remember at the time, this is when I was first starting my Twitch stuff. Like this is back in like I was still in college. Me and my friend were like, we need to do our Twitch stuff. Like we need to get into Twitch like before it blows up. And I should have like put like balls to the walls, just going into it.
Yeah.
I went the YouTube route. And I did Let's Plays, and I should have just done the Twitch route. Like, it's stuff.
You could have been famous by now.
Could have been like 1,000 followers at this point. But we did Until Dawn. We did a Let's Play of it, and that's when everyone was doing it. And I remember I'm like, oh hell yeah! And I like platinumed it. I did all the routes. I'm like, I love that game. I played it last year. I'm gonna do it this year.
Now the gimmick is that it's a choice-based game, and you can have everybody survive. Well, the 8 people.
Yeah.
Or you can have everybody die.
Yeah. I think, because I played it so many times, I think it's kind of messed up that one of the characters is irredeemable. You cannot save them.
Oh, really?
No matter what you do.
I thought you could. Who is?
Rami Malek's character cannot live.
Oh, but he doesn't count towards the 8, does he?
He doesn't count. Or
does he? Oh shit.
He cannot be, like, spoilers for a game that came out like 10 years ago.
Right.
He can't be saved. Like, he dies in multiple paths, and then the most he can survive is becoming the little like the Wendigo.
Okay.
He becomes it. That's the most he can survive. But
and that counts towards the trophy.
That counts towards the trophy. But he's not really.
I knew, by the way, because I was just like, oh, that's Rami Malek now. He was like around. I think he was probably Mr. Robot at the time.
Yeah, he was getting into Mr. Robot, yeah.
So I was just like, oh, like, hey, like that's Rami Malek. I know you. And then it got to the scene where he like gets cut in half. Again, spoilers.
Yeah.
He gets cut in half, and I was just like, bullshit. I was like, you're the killer. Yeah. And the whole time, yep.
Fun fact, that's unskippable. He has to get cut.
Okay, well that makes sense because the twist needs to happen later.
Yeah, and then like in the story, I think it's brilliant. The way they do it is they just put 2 pictures, so they're not telling you. It's like it's a Dungeons and Dragons trick.
Okay.
Where it's like it's the illusion of choice. There's 2 paths, but both paths go the same route.
Okay, yeah.
I do it in D&D all the time. Like when I play Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, and I'm like, I want them to take this path no matter what. And so I'll give them like 3 choices, but they all go the same way.
It's like wrestling when they had those Cyber Sundays, and it would be like you at home. God, the gimmick was that you get to vote for the match, so it'd be like, is John Cena and the Undertaker? Are they going to have a no disqualification match, or are they going to have a street fight, or are they going to have like something else? Like no holds barred. It's all the same thing.
It's all the same thing. It's just like small variations.
Yeah.
Of like, oh well, in this one they can't.
They can't use kendo sticks.
Yeah, in this one they can't end the match outside the ring, because technically a street fight you have to end. You can end outside. But in no disqualification, you have to end in the ring.
Right. Okay.
It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's all the same thing. It's just like, where are we ending the match, basically?
Right.
It's that. Because like in that thing, it's just 2 pictures. So it's like, I picked this one. And it's
describe the pictures. Like, what, how do they get you?
So it was like, it's 2 of the, it's Rami Malek character. And then,
because you choose which one you want to die.
Well, that's the thing.
Right.
When you first get there, they're like, help. And then they're like, you see the saw coming. And then it's like a little lever.
Okay.
And then it's a picture of girl who I'm blanking out on. I think it was the girlfriend. and then picture of Rami Malek. And that's all they give you. They just give you 2 pictures, and that's it. And when you get there, you don't get any context of what the lever does. You don't get any, like, if I pull the lever this way, it's going to save her.
So you don't know if it's a monkey's paw thing.
Exactly.
Or not so much monkey's paw, but you don't know if it's like a trick, like like how Joker did in The Dark Knight, where he's just like, oh, he mixed them up. He's like, really, if you go here, you're going to save this person.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly it. Because when I played it, I'm like, okay, this means who I want to save.
Right.
And so I'm like, I want to save Rami Malek's character. Because I haven't established that much of a relationship with the girlfriend.
Rami Malek.
And then it kills Rami Malek.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? I thought I was choosing to make him live. I play it again, and I'm like, all right, this is my second run of the game. I already know that if I pick Rami Malek's character, it's gonna kill him. So I'm gonna pick the girlfriend. And then it's like, you survive, and it kills Rami Malek's character.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's scripted. It's supposed to happen. Right.
Yeah. And in universe, that makes sense too.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, as soon as that happened, I was just like, no.
Yeah.
No, you're a notable face. There's no way you're dead this soon. Yeah. You're the killer.
Yeah.
And he was.
Yeah, he was.
Which is cool though, because he gets all psycho. Like he actually does a good performance in there.
The way you can like learn about the story in the background. Like there's like a hidden, you know how there's like hidden paths you can take. There's like, I feel he's a sympathetic character to me because I think it's fucked up. Like this is all spoilers. It's fucked up that they killed by accident or whatever. His sisters died. His twin sisters died. He needed help, and his friends didn't help him. They all like branched out.
I don't remember the story that well.
Yeah, I played it like 5 times. So like I have it like just in my head. They like leave him because they're all traumatized too. But he's the one that should be the most traumatized. His sisters died, whether by accident or whatever. It was an accident. But your best friend shouldn't leave you in that situation. So he needs therapy. He's the one in the therapy chair. Like, you know, when you're getting questioned.
Right.
He's the one behind the chair. Like, he's the one in the chair. He got medication. They prescribed him the wrong medication. He stopped taking his medication. This is all stuff you can like read in like the notes off like screen. Okay. And so this was his way of like bringing everybody back together. And like, it's fucked up because like he's fucked up and whatever. And I felt so bad for him because I'm like, this guy is just getting like screwed over in all ways, and he just wanted like to
make it such a good movie.
Yeah.
I know not every video game needs to be a movie. Sometimes they work better as games, but that's a good movie.
I think so too. And I think
if they would have stayed with PlayStation, or PlayStation would have bought them.
Yeah.
Now that they have PlayStation Studios, they probably could have got a show.
Could have done something.
All right. Resident Evil time.
All right. We'll try to be short about it.
We'll give it 10 minutes. If we go over. I don't think we'll go over 10 minutes.
I love this series.
Well, you're not going to explain the whole series to everybody.
You don't know that.
All right. So where I don't want to know like your origin or anything like that.
Whatever, hater.
Which one is your favorite?
So I've played 7, 8. I played 4 as a kid.
I think everybody played 4.
Yeah, I played 4 as a kid, and then
that was a brother game for me too, where it's like he was playing and I was kind of just peeking over.
Same. It was my cousin. He had it. Another back when I would go to Mexico every week, there was a haircut place I would go to, and at the haircut place there was a candy store right next to it. And so when my dad would get us haircuts, my brother would get his haircut and my dad would get his haircut, so I would have like 40 minutes to kill. I would go to the candy store. The dude there would be playing Resident Evil 4.
Nice.
And so I would just watch him play it.
Yeah.
But those are the ones I've played. I played 4, 7, 8, and then I got a lot of my knowledge of it.
I mean, I guess we kind of just go in order. So you skipped 5.
I skipped 5, 6, and then it wasn't until like it was on sale that I got 7.
Because 5, 6, and 7 were all like just action.
Yeah, those were the action games.
I played 5 because 4 looked cool, and then by the time I said, okay, I can buy my own game now with my allowance, I bought 5.
Yeah.
And I really liked 5. It was cool. It wasn't scary, but it was cool.
Yeah, it's a co-op game with Chris Redfield.
And Shiva, right?
Shiva, yeah.
They had her in a little like leopard like outfit.
I remember at the time, it was like used as a propaganda thing. Because like you're in Africa in that game.
Right.
And so the virus has affected Africa. And so it's a bunch of black people being violent. And I remember at the time, people were using footage of Resident Evil 5.
No way.
Yeah, dude. So
was that like around Ebola?
It was. It was around that.
Oh my God.
But I got most of my knowledge of Resident Evil from Marvel vs. Capcom.
This all explains it.
That's where I got.
This is your tie-in.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. Now 5, 6, and 7. I have nothing to say. Besides, I played 5, but it's not relevant to this conversation.
I agree.
So I think when it really gets good, at least again, Capcom just overall was they were awful for a while.
We talked about it in the fighting game thing. There was those years where Capcom was just dumping shit on our.
They just didn't care anymore.
They just didn't care. They were like riding on their laurels and like just.
And the turn seemed to happen with Resident Evil 7.
Yes.
And okay, so Resident Evil 7, it is part 7, and it is a continuation of the story, but it's a requel.
Yes.
Meaning that it's a continuation, but it's also like a reboot.
Yes.
So you play this new guy, and now it's a first-person game.
Yes. Yeah.
And what a great decision, because when they showed that trailer off, it looked like PT.
Yeah.
And then it was revealed to be Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, I remember people thinking, oh, you're copying PT.
It's like good.
Yeah,
we need it.
Yeah, because like PT failed, and it's like, okay, well, Resident Evil 7 was.
Well, it didn't fail.
Well, yeah, it did fail, but like,
it didn't even get a chance.
Yeah, and so when Resident Evil 7 came out with its own demo, same thing. It was like I played it, and I was like, I'm not touching this. This is way too scary. Yeah. Because I remember Resident Evil 4 being the cool game where I do backflips, and Leon does that weird kick where he like he does like a pseudo kick for like no reason at all. Because like.
Probably Kill Bill just came out or something.
Something like that. And it was on GameCube exclusively. I thought that was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
But 1, 2, 3, I didn't get to touch. I remember 2 being like a lot of people having high praise for 2 being a good horror game. 3, same thing. And then 4, it was just like, no, this game's too cool. It's way too good.
Right.
And then skip 5, 6. And then
5, 6, 7.
Yeah. And then 7. I remember I was like, I had never played a Resident Evil game because my cousin had played it. I never played it. I would watch him play it. And sometimes he'd give me the controllers and I'm like, because I didn't know what I was doing because I was like 7 or whatever. Well, it came out in like 2005, so I'd been like 10.
Okay.
And I remember I was in college again and like I bought.
Was this BJ or AJ?
This was BJ. And I had bought it. And I played it a little bit and I was like, I don't want to, mess around with it. Like I have it, but I don't like actually like want to get in there because I don't know anything about the Resident Evil series. And I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. And then I don't think it was pandemic yet. I was still doing Let's Plays. And Jacob and I were like, let's get into like a co-op game because I was doing Let's Plays by myself. And Jacob wanted to get into them too.
Okay.
And so we're like, let's do Resident Evil 7 because you watched it, so you know what the story is, and I've never played it. So I think it'd be a good co-op game. Like it's a horror game.
It's a good like party game.
Yeah.
Like where like people are around, it's good to watch.
Yeah, and I remember it was October time, so we're like, well, let's get a horror game. And we're like Resident Evil because like we have it. I have it. I owned it. And I think I put like 5 or 6 episodes on, and then like I still have like the rest to edit, but I never edited them, and they're still like in the backlog. But my first
empty promises.
My first experiences with Resident Evil were with Jacob and like playing it there, and I got hooked way quick. Right. I think the story is amazing. I didn't get to experience the shit. Like I didn't get to go through 5 and 6. Right. I know 6 is really bad.
Yeah, I kept saying 5, 6, 7 because I thought there was more, but yeah, it really was just 5 and 6. Like I really did just skip 1, but it was such a long break in between. I feel, and there's a lot of spin-offs too.
Yeah, there was like some DC or DS games, and I remember 7 being like them being like, all right, we're gonna go back to horror because that was their thing. It's like we've gone to action,
survival horror,
horror. That's what
not just action.
Because they're like we've done action and survival horror. Like we're gonna go back to horror. Like we're doing horror. We're in the middle of like Louisiana
in a swamp house
with like family,
and they totally changed it up. There's not a bunch of zombies or anything. It's just a family, and there's hints like if you know Resident Evil stuff, like there's hints at Umbrella. There's an Umbrella logo and just stuff like that. But yeah, you're dealing with this family, and the way that they handled all of those characters was really cool. And I actually didn't play it until I saw that Resident Evil 8 was coming out.
Yeah.
Like I had already had 7 on PlayStation Plus or something. I owned it, I just never played it.
Same.
So then 8 was coming out. I was like, this looks really cool. Now they're doing werewolves and everything, and there's like a doll lady.
Yeah.
So then I played 7 a little bit before 8 came out.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is incredible.
Oh yeah.
So definitely up there on my list. And then I played 8 a little bit after, because that always happens with me. I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna play the Assassin's Creed game before the new one drops. But I'm like, well, now I just put 50 hours and I don't want to do the new one.
I do that all the time.
So I bought Resident Evil 8 on sale eventually, and then played it like months later.
Yeah.
And I was like, this game is so damn good. And the dollhouse one, that's creepy. But I think the scariest moment for me is the giant baby.
Yes.
Because first you go to like a whale because like you hear crying and all that, and then whale or well?
A well.
A well.
You go down a well.
Go down a well. Yeah. Not a whale. There wasn't a giant fish.
No, yeah.
You go down a well.
Yeah, ring shit.
And ring shit. Which is already scary. You're just like, shit, I got to go down there.
I'm like,
it's like pitch black. You go down there, you hear crying, whatever. I think you get like a key or something. Long story short, you get to the point where this giant baby is chasing you around. There's a bunch of different jump scares in there too. But I think they found the recipe, which is like there's enough action to keep you entertained.
Yes.
But it's survival horror, and this shit is scary.
Yeah, because I remember with 7, I was like, I think 7's scarier than 8. Because when I played...
I'd agree with you there.
Because 7 is like, this is like horror. Like, this is like...
It felt like PT.
It was creepy as hell. I don't like the characters. The characters to me are scumbags.
They're sticky looking.
They're sticky. I mean, I know in the DLC they humanize them, and it's like, it's not their fault. It's the virus that like made them that way. Because they're just a family. They were just a family. And we kind of just... The virus came in and, like, changed them.
Yeah.
And so, like... But at the beginning, I hated them. I hated the dad who would just come in and, like, I would shoot him and then he'd just get back up. And I'm like, what the hell, man? I wasted, like... The first time, I wasted, like, 10 bullets on him. And I didn't realize how important bullets were in Resident Evil. Like...
Really?
They're so important. Like, shotgun shells...
And that's the thing is, like, in Resident Evil, I feel so unsafe until I get the shotgun.
Yeah.
As soon as I got a shotgun, I'm good. I don't give a shit what you are, a werewolf, whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's a scene where there's, like, 20 werewolves attacking, and then I was like, I don't know what to do.
And how many bullets you got?
10.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to double up. I got to get them together in a row.
Yeah. I just remember in 7, the, like, because they're all the same, like, monster thing. And those things scared the crap out of me. Like, this, like, blob monster thing. And they're all the same. Like, very little differences. But they just, like, come out of nowhere. And I remember a lot of those didn't really, like, once I replayed it, I'm like, whatever, this is fine. Easy mode. Like, once you replay it 2 or 3 times, you stop getting scared. I am still scared. Every time I play it, when you go into the little kid's room.
I was about to mention, because earlier I said dollhouse. The dollhouse is in the 7th one, right?
Yes.
But you deal with, like, the doll lady in the 8th.
Yes.
But yeah, the dollhouse, hell yeah. I'm now that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because at first you're, like, dealing with, like, this bug lady, aren't you?
You're dealing so all the family gets, like, some gimmick to them, right? Like the son is the trap guy. He's the saw guy.
That's the guy where he's like in the car, right? In the garage? Or is that dad?
That's dad. You meet dad twice. Dad is like the big Hulk. He's the nemesis.
Right.
He's the Mr.
He's the one that turns to the giant blob later, which is like, get back to your room.
Yeah.
He kept killing me, and I kept having to hear that bullshit. Get back to your room. Hated him.
Because every game has like the unit, the nemesis, the Mr.
What's
X,
his name? Yeah, Mr.
X. Lady Dimitrescu. She ain't going.
Lady
Where's she at? Where you at, lady?
Wait a minute. I forgot we were. Wait a second. I wasn't scared when she was on screen. I was feeling something else.
Ooh. We'll get there. And so because I think it's 3 of them. They all have a gimmick to them. He's the unit, and so he always is wandering around, and he'll just randomly appear every once in a while, and he's like the big tank. The kid is the trapper. He's the saw kind of guy. He has like saw puzzles and saw traps. There's like one puzzle that messed me up. Do you remember the puzzle room where you're like in this puzzle house where it's like happy birthday? It's like, and then you play the tape.
I had to have.
Yeah, because it's like he gives you a tape of like happy birthday, and then you play the tape, And then it's like him experimenting on like people that just walk by, because like people will walk by in the swamp and whatnot,
right?
And he'd capture them, and then he'd do do traps on them. And so there's this one part where you're right, like there's a puzzle where it's like happy birthday, and he like empties out, like he's like, you wake up and you're like, what the hell? And then like he's like, hey man, it's your birthday, happy birthday, but watch out because blah 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 blah. And so he like cuts like some oil, and like oil just like floods into the room.
Okay.
And
I don't remember this.
You don't remember this?
No.
And so you have to like figure out a puzzle, and like he gives you like a stick, and then you like a candle, and like you have to figure out the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is like a Saw movie, isn't it?
Yeah, and like he makes you like get this puppet, and the puppet like puts the password. He like
oh, I do
you,
remember this.
and it's like love, and then like the password is love, and then it like drops a candle. You like light the candle, and you like pop balloons.
Right.
It's a whole thing. And then like he comes back to the birthday, and he puts the birthday candle on the thing, and you light it, and it's like, oh, you like happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah.
And then it blows up because the whole room had been getting filled with gas the whole time.
Right.
And then you play it again as Ethan.
Yeah, because so that is supposed to happen.
Yes, that's
okay.
scripted.
That's right. Yeah.
The videotape is scripted. And so when you come back as Ethan watches the tape, and he's like, I have the knowledge. I'm going to cut the...
But you played it as a player already.
Yeah, and you already had played it. You don't have to, actually. The tapes are optional.
Oh, okay.
So you don't actually have to learn it in the first part. Because I remember when I did it, I messed up. Because like I'm like, yes, we did it. And then we lit the candle.
Yeah.
And then we blew up. And then we're like, what the hell? And then we found the tape in the second run through. And I'm like, oh, that's why. You're supposed to play the tape first. And then,
Why didn't they remake Resident Evil 1?
I think
is it just like impossible or what?
I think it's because they already did it on the GameCube and the PlayStation, and I don't think they want to do it again.
So, because it's always been weird to me how they just jumped to Resident Evil 2 to remake them. Because I never played the originals. I have a friend Pedro who his shit is Resident Evil and Assassin's Creed.
Right.
But I know a lot about Resident Evil because of him.
Yeah.
And he's always talked about them, and he's got me interested in them. And as I'm playing 7 and 8, I would talk to him. So now I'm playing 2.
Yeah.
I was playing it before. I was trying to beat it before Mortal Kombat came out, but no, I didn't do that. And the podcast got me busy.
Yeah.
So I haven't beat it, but Resident Evil 2, I think I'm almost done, and that's really fun too.
That's the thing. Like all the Resident Evils are super short. Like you can speed run the 7 in 3 hours.
Yeah.
8.
Well, once you know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. And then 8, you can beat in 4.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing, is that they're supposed to be very not very easy, but they're of their time, and so it's you can just get replayability over and over and over again. And so I think that's why they're 7 was really good at doing that, because you can do the puzzles different ways,
right? You
can do the routes different ways.
So 2, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Eventually, I want to do 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But where do they go from here? Because they're not going to redo 5, are they?
No, I hope not. I mean, if they want to, they could make it better.
Well, up next is Resident Evil 9. They're going to do that.
Yeah.
And then what?
Well, we beat 8, and so you know how 8 ends.
I do, but you're going to have to refresh me.
So in 8, you play... So 7, you play Ethan Winters, right?
Right.
8, it's a continuation. You're Ethan Winters again.
Such a cool opening.
Yeah. And so you play 8, you do the thing, and then at the very end, you find out you've been dead the whole time. In 7, you died. And when the first, time you meet the family, you think you're knocked out, and they drag you, and they do this, and they put you there, and you're whatever. But when you look back, you've always been able to heal yourself. Whenever your arm gets cut off, you just...
Now, do you think that was a retcon?
I think it was a retcon.
They're just oh, here's something clever we could do.
Yeah. I think I kind of want to imagine it was all planned, because it makes
sense. They're
made
pretty quickly too.
Because when I edited it for the first time, because I played 7 and then I played 8, and then I went back to edit 7, and when I was editing it, I noticed that Ethan's hands, when they get cut, when you put the thing on, it just does a thing.
It happens off screen.
Yeah, and I'm oh, this whole time he's been like with this
infected with the virus.
Yeah,
or
he's
whatever.
had the cordyceps in his body, and so you died in the first one or in 7, and so 8 reveals that, and so the story of Ethan Winters is finished, right? But
well, because then he does die at the
Yes.
end of 8.
he sacrifices himself, yeah.
But he has
A
a
daughter.
daughter.
So
Oh.
I think 9, because like Rose, you know, I think add the OGs back because you get Chris.
Oh yeah, they tease that you're gonna be playing Chris again,
Yeah, and like you can
which is
play-
kind of messed up because it's like, all right, we did all the work to build this universe again. All right, Chris, get back in there.
get back in, Ace. You get back in there. No, see, I think we'll go back to Leon. That's my theory. I think we'll go back to Leon and maybe Chris. I think we'll do a. I do think we're going back to the OGs for 9.
Okay.
I think that's why they did 3 and 4 or 2, 3, and 4 because it's like, well, we need.
Well, they've run out now.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So
I think they got lucky. I think 2 came out and then, well, that wasn't luck. That's a really good design game.
Yeah.
But still, like 2 came out and it's just like, oh, people bought it. It works. And then 3 came out like, all right, we're doing 4.
Yeah. Well, of course,
Yeah.
4's the best one.
They could have just started with 4, but
yeah, because 4 is the best one.
It just feels like they're in a good spot right now. They have everybody's attention again.
Yeah.
They have my attention, which they wouldn't have had otherwise. So
Yeah. And I think that's one of the horror games that's like, it's a horror game, but I think it's too cool. I think every character in it.
and what a way to summarize this is just at the end, it's like, oh yeah, but this game's not a horror game because it's too cool.
I think so. I don't think Resident Evil is a horror. I think it's
You're
it's way
crazy.
too cool. I think it's way too cool because like
Jak and Daxter, horror game.
Yes.
Resident Evil, not a horror game.
because like Ethan to me is super sick in like his personality and like how he's like, "Where's my daughter?"
Oh, a
It's
terrible
awesome.
voice actor though.
Yeah.
He's awful.
But I remember 8 never really being scared. I thought I was never scared of Heisenberg. I thought Heisenberg was sick.
Yeah.
I thought his glasses.
Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah,
All of them were.
I thought Hunchback. I forget his name.
It was that
Moreau?
the fish guy.
Yeah, Moreau, I think was his name. I thought he was sympathetic.
Right.
When we played it in our Let's Play, we made him a simp. So I had a soft spot for him.
yeah.
I was never scared when I saw Lady Dimitrescu. Never once.
Or the other vampire girls.
oh, the bug girls. I love them. Cassandra.
Damn, you know all their names and everything. too.
Daniela. I think it's Daniela, Cassandra. And I think Holly. I forgot her. I forgot that. I know one of them's
Yeah.
name's Cassandra.
And then the werewolves too. Like it was
Oh,
just so many unique ideas. It almost felt like they're just like, where should we take this next? And they're just like, can we do werewolves? Can we do the adult? Let's just do it all. Let's
Yeah.
make 4 cool bosses.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love Party. I think I like 8 more, but 7 is scarier.
Yeah, because I remember I never really got scared of the dollhouse because I remember seeing Donna, the girl with the mask. I remember somebody found like ways to take off the mask, and she's beautiful underneath the mask. She just has like a little
Wow.
bit.
They
of,
actually had a face model under
yeah,
there.
they had a face malt, and she has like a little bit of like a little like
Scarring.
scarring. But I thought she was beautiful, and so I never was scared of her. I thought the doll was creepy, but they made the doll funny. Like
She would like talk shit.
yeah, she would talk shit to you. She's like, "Oh, look at this ugly piece of shit," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" But I thought all 4 bosses were like way too cool to like be scared of them.
So not a horror game.
Not a horror game.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought when
It's on my favorite horror games list, but
yeah, because
not a horror game.
I thought the henchmen were scary, like the little like the castle. The castle was the scariest part to me, because I played the demo for the castle, and like the castle area is scary, but once you get into the castle, I'm like, this isn't scary anymore.
Yeah.
It's avant-garde. It's too big. Like it's too pretty for me to be scared. Like
Your rules are just so up and down.
And
You don't know what a horror game is.
and
I don't know why I brought you on this topic.
and like whenever I would hear Lady Dimitrescu like just shit talk me and call me a scum, why am I supposed to be
Yeah,
scared?
just step on me.
Why am I supposed to be scared? She would call me little man thing. Where's the fear in that?
You're not wrong. I am a little man thing.
I think if it leaned into seven horror, I think it would have gone there. But I think they're like hitting a stride where it's like it's probably easier to be more action.
Right.
And to be like get more eyeballs because it can still be scary. That baby thing,
that shit was horrifying.
That messed me up for like 2 days because I would think about it. I would just think about that baby just
under the bed, and the stupid baby was going by like like Charles E. Cheese got me.
Oh my god,
Charles Entertainment.
He would look down.
Yeah. All right. Oh, well, let's get the hell out of here. 2 hours. We met in the middle. I tried to hit 1 hour. You wanted to hit 3. Well, we got 2.
All right.
I
think I have one more, and it's not even a horror game. I just want to shout it out because I think I shout it out in everything I can. Catherine. Is that one game you were telling me last time that people play at fighting game tournaments? Yep, the puzzle game has a couple of horror elements in it.
It just has everything, doesn't it?
In the boss fights, there are horror elements in the boss fights. It's the only time there are horror elements, and I did get scared because there's like a baby. There's another baby in there.
Babies, chairs, baby shoes.
There's like a part where there's like a killer bride. I thought the killer bride was scary, and like the boss fights, I think are very intelligent in like the way they're done because it's like, oh yeah, of course you're gonna be scared of having a baby, but now the baby's like, I'm gonna eat you, and it's like a thing, and it's like, oh, of course you're gonna get scared of being married, and it's like a killer bride. I think that's sick. I think those are cool, and that's the horror.
I hope someone that has played this game is just like that. It's not a horror game. It's not a horror game.
It has horror elements.
That guy's crazy. All right, my friend, pimp out your stuff one last time.
Twitch.tv. Okay, 1337. I made a YouTube this time.
Oh,
all my shit's on there.
Which you got a subscriber of mine, a mutual subscriber.
We did. I'm at like 3 because of them. But all my streams go on there because I'll stream on Twitch and then I'll put the VODs on there because my old YouTube still has all my Let's Plays, and I think I'll keep that one as like a video essay, or if I want to, like that's a fear, like I edit one,
right?
Like I'll edit on there. But 1337 is just going to be shorts, TikToks, and like full on streams. Like you didn't make it, they're on there.
And now, if you watch this whole thing or you watch parts, you kind of know his personality now. If you want to see him get scared of some shit that's not supposed to be scary,
it's scary, all right?
So go to Twitch. Do you subscribe or do you follow?
You follow.
Follow him on Twitch.
And the schedule will be posted because you're coming this on Friday, right?
Yeah.
I think I might be streaming on Sunday or Saturday. I think Sunday.
Follow him on socials to see his schedule.
The schedule will be posted on there. This week, it's already going to be passed. But Resident Evil, Luigi's Mansion. Those are the ones I'm going to be playing.
There you go.
Next week, we'll figure it out.
And, well, again, if you're here and you're not subscribed, definitely hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 100. We're almost there. In the month of October, we are going to hit it.
I feel it.
We got spooky stuff all month long, and this is a way to start off. So what a way!
You got a bracket, killer bracket. You're gonna. It's
there's
easy.
just. I would love to. There's just no time. Well, actually, there's one open slot. I actually could.
There you go.
I'll consider it.
It's super quick.
Because I was gonna rank the killers on one of them with my friend Misael. But we kind of just left that open of like we don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe right. I'll consider it.
I think just a bracket. Brackets are easy.
Well, for sure we got Friday the 13th versus Nightmare on Elm Street with my brother in our Versus series. For the big one, the big like Halloween thing we're doing is gonna be our. Normally, me and Jets every year do like a theme for Halloween.
Yeah.
But now that we have this platform.
Oh, I remember you told me Aliens.
We did Aliens last year. The year before that we did slashers. So this year. We're going to do creature features, which is, so whenever there's like a monster or something like that. So we're going to do some silly ones like Anaconda.
Anaconda's one.
It's probably not a huge horror movie, but again, if it's in that creature feature. The Thing.
That's a good one.
I've never seen The Thing, and I've always wanted to. Oh. John Carpenter's The Thing. So we have a couple. I'll throw one more out there.
Oh.
8-Legged Freaks.
I was scared of that one.
A bunch of spiders.
Funniest thing, I watched that in a double feature at a drive-in. For Austin Powers.
Yeah, which one?
Austin Powers 3.
Gold member?
It was Gold member and 8-Legged Freaks.
That's a good-ass night.
I was pissing my pants.
Of laughter and fear.
Of laughter and fear. I hated that movie.
All right, guys. That'll do it.
With our WCW champion, David Arquette.
Oh, that's true. And to bring back to wrestling, let's freaking watch some wrestling now.
Oh, yes.
The screen turned off at some point, and we didn't even get to watch it.
We're going to watch it.
So until next time, you guys, peace out.